Evening, folks. Well, afternoon for some of you, evening for me. Evening's probably not even accurate, really. It's night time. It's 9:30 at night. So, for me. Time zones are a funny thing, aren't they? Well, welcome to the stream. This is going to be similar to a stream I did before, where we played Land of Illusion and talked to some of you lot. Basically, I decided I needed to stream tonight because I need to salvage March. It's the last chance to salvage March. It's the 31st in terms of viewer metrics and everything for YouTube, because it's this whole silly algorithm nonsense that I shouldn't care about, but, you know, I like my videos to not get buried completely. So I thought I'd better put something out today. Yeah, that copyright thing really fucked us for March. Hopefully April will be a little bit better. But welcome, everybody. Today we're going to play some Vidya, and then I'm going to take some calls. I say and then, it'll be during the play of Vidya. I'm going to turn those speakers down so my ears don't get blown out. There's a super chat I need to read as well. Let's have a look. And it's gone. Mike K27X, US $4.99, just dropping in for a minute, but here, have some gamer bucks. Now, to be fair, I don't know if he was, if he's still here, basically, because he said he's just in for a minute, and he sent that a while ago. But thank you, Mike. That the neighbor's kid, $5, can't join this one. About to watch Godzilla vs. Dong. I'll have to catch the next one. Oh my god, is that out today? Oh, that's where everybody is. I sat here thinking, oh god, this was a terrible idea. I've really misjudged this. This whole thing seems really arrogant. No one's going to think, oh, we get the privilege of talking to this guy. Everyone's giving me the finger and telling me to go fuck myself. No, everyone's watching Godzilla vs. Kong, which I didn't realize was out today. That explains a lot. Also, I've got a bit of a cold, so I've got a cough sweet in my mouth, which is going to make some gross slurping noises, so excuse me while I mute the microphone. Let's get cracking, shall we? Let's get slacking off. Because what I'm doing here is not a real job. So, welcome everybody. Gonna play some games. This here, you might have seen it before. In fact, in the thumbnail for this very video, I quite accidentally didn't realize this until I was halfway through editing the thumbnail, that the t-shirt I am wearing is of this game, which I'm playing now, and of course is in the background of the thumbnail. So, you can probably guess I'm a bit of a fan. Not in a weird way, not in like a Alexander 4488 being a fan of James Rolfe kind of way. Cool. The up and down buttons working properly. Had some problems with that. Not on this game, but on a similar game the other day. For anyone who gives a shit, I'm playing this with a Nintendo 64 controller, which feels a little strange, but I'm sure I'll get used to it. Speaking of Alexander 4488, isn't it difficult to not call him Alexander 1488? I'm sure he's not racist, but it's just, you know, your instinct, at least mine, tells me to call him Alexander 1488. Did I actually get Elixir? When Logan was playing this on the PlayStation the other day, yeah, I did. Didn't seem to get it from that guy. So, this here is one of my all-time favourite games. Now, just like when we did the first one of these, we played one of my favourite old games, and I think quite a few people in the chat at the time wound up, picking that game up and choosing to, play it themselves. Right, I know I can't afford those boots at the moment. Right, I can't quite see the chat on my screen, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring it up on my phone. And in a few minutes, I'll start taking calls. Oh, fucking phone. So, I've got a temp phone at the moment. My main one's broken. It got soaked when it was raining, and everything's closed. So, all over Christmas, right up until now, my phone's been broken. So, I've been using this shitty temp one. So, what I'm going to do Anyway, thank you very much, Crimson Avenger. I know who you are in real life. You're a real life person that I know. Well, you live far away, but you used to live around here. Crimson Avenger, £5. Glad things are sorted out. All the best, my friend. Looking forward to seeing you again. CH. Yeah, I know who you are. I haven't got to sign off. Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing you again too. As soon as this lockdown nonsense comes to an end, absolutely, we should spend a little time hanging out. Hanging out in our underpants, you know? A little bit of mud, maybe. I don't know. You know, just see where the evening takes us. Thank you, Peter. Peter, is it Milich? I don't know. There's no T. I feel like it's Milik. Here's something that could get you through. Thank you for the $9.99, by the way. Here's something that could get you through your next Onision book stream. Think of the one thing that would be more satisfying than seeing him or his characters go to jail, seeing them go to hell. That does sound very nice. Especially because, now I don't personally believe in hell, but especially because the current book we're reading by Onision leans heavily on like atheist cringe and constantly talking about how there's no God and stuff like that. So that's interesting to me. That the idea of them being proven wrong and then just burning in hell. Very funny. Sorry for the slurping. That's my coffee. This is pure April Castle. I'm going to be one of those annoying Let's Players who does voices for the characters. Entry is prohibited. Go away! I'm not going to do that. Could you imagine that for a whole video? It'd drive you nuts. So this game is developed by a studio called Westone. Or West One, depending on who you ask. I've always said Westone. Yeah, I don't. I've got pretty shit boots at the moment. Can I? No, I can't quite afford the leather boots just yet. Although when I kill this next crab, I should be able to. Hey, I'm right. I'm heading back to buy the leather boots. I'm moving rather slowly, and my jumping is pretty poor. So this first set of boots you can buy, they're not great, but they'll be all right. So this is a little confusing, the title of this game. In fact, it still continues to, this franchise still continues to confuse people today, because the final installment, official installment of it, got a remaster, which is coming out soon. And there's a whole article that came up. You know, because your phone spies on you. There was this whole thing about came up on my phone about the new Monster World remaster. It is a remake of Wonder Boy 4, which they said several times. It's not. It's a remake of Monster World 4. Monster World 4 is Wonder Boy 6. I probably sound like I'm speaking another language to many of you, but effectively, there's sort of two franchises running in parallel to each other. So there's Wonder Boy and Monster World. And there's Wonder Boy, and Wonder Boy 2 is Monster World 1. Wonder Boy 3 has no affiliation with Monster World. Wonder Boy 4 is Monster World 2. Now, if you're not confused yet, in many territories, including here, Wonder Boy 4, i.e. Monster World 2, was released as Wonder Boy 3 on the Master System, because their logic was it was the third game in the series ported to the Master System, ignoring the actual third game. Really fucking confusing stuff. But regardless, this is Monster World 3 Wonder Boy 5. But in the UK, it's simply known as Wonder Boy and Monster World. Much easier title to get your lips around, I suppose. Now, there's a whole ton of hidden secrets in this game, just everywhere. So hidden doors and stuff. You can complete the game with only about 70% of the shit you can find. So it's quite expansive for the time. It's from 1991, so it's very old. But considering how old the game is, there's a lot of cool stuff in it. See, I can't get this chest yet, but we can come back to that later. Thank you, Shadow White, for the £5. Been a fan for years. Here's a bit of Wonga for all your great content. I'm glad things have improved. Well, thank you very much. I really appreciate that. And yeah, they have. Things are a little better now. I've mapped the A button to top C, which is kind of weird, but there was nowhere else to really map it to. Because Mega Drive obviously famously has 3 sort of action buttons. The N64 has 2, and then a bunch of side buttons. So I made the 2 main ones B and C. I didn't really know where to put A. I probably should have put it on Z, actually. That I may change that. Now, I think once I've gotten through this part here and finished my cup of coffee, I'm going to take the first call, if that sounds agreeable to everyone. How is the audio, by the way? Before we begin taking calls, I suppose I should concern myself really with the quality of the sound. You can ride a jellyfish, says the sign, but you can only ride one if you can catch one. There we are. It's a bit tricky. There we are. Let me know if you'd like me to turn the game up a smidge as well, because I think the music's quite good. Although if I'm taking calls, it might be a bit too much noise and game and my voice and the caller as well. This is how you save. It's also how you recover health and magic. Of course, with this being an emulator, I could always use save states if I wanted to. I probably won't, but if I get to a particularly difficult portion of the game, I may do that. All right, so I'm in the town. I said once I'd completed the section I was on, I would take calls. So I've got a bunch of friend requests and what have you. So I will quickly kill off my display capture and just make sure that these are accepted. And if, yeah, so, yeah, that's all sorted then. So if anybody wants to call in, you can. And I will take the first call and we'll take it from there. We'll do what we did previously and we'll form a queue. Because I'm English and I like forming queues. It's what we do. I do apologise if it seemed like I was moaning earlier about the lack of people. I was just a little nervous that maybe I'd made a mistake with this idea. But I don't mind having a smaller audience, really. It makes me less scared of saying something really offensive or stupid. What do you want? Keep in mind that when you equip a spear, you can't use a shield. This is true. You have discriminating item, that's wood shield. 500 gold. No, 50 gold, not 500. You know, I think I probably ought to have that. I'll be grinding for a little while to get some more equipment, though. There's some good stuff for sale in that shop, so... I'm going to check something really quickly. Okay, Discord isn't actually on there, so I don't know. So I keep getting little notifications on Discord, so I have no idea if anyone's calling or not. Yeah, okay, loads of people are calling, and I'm too stupid to figure out why I can't hear it. So let me change my settings. This is funny, technical difficulties, la 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 la. That's my new song I'm working on. It's called Technical Difficulties. This is funny. Please, blah blah. Yep, I can't hear my voice. That's strange. I should be able to hear my own voice now. So let's fix that real quick. There, no, it's not here. Discord is not... There it is. Right, that should fix it. Let's try again. Alright, let's take the first call. First call is coming in from Bubbleguts. Hello.
Hello again, Corb.
Hello, Sorry, who's this? Sorry, I haven't got a very good memory, so.
You want to ask who is this? Well, have you been chased by pirates yet?
I know who you are. Yes.
Yes, hello.
Yes, you're on my Instagram. Yes. Welcome.
I'm kind of using you to test my new microphone, by the way.
Oh, great. Well, you know, I sort of hoped you were calling because you were wanting to talk to me, but no, never mind. I guess I'll go fuck myself. Don't.
Of course, I want to talk to you, Corb.
How are you? How have you been?
Well, I know you have me on Instagram. I don't know if you've seen, but things haven't been great recently.
I'm not going to lie to you, I haven't really been following your stuff on there. Not out of any malice, I just haven't checked.
No, that's right. I wouldn't... I'm not sure. Am I considered a friend yet? I don't know at this point.
I mean, Instagram friend. That's you.
Sure. Mutual followers.
Yeah, that's... There
we go, close enough.
Yeah.
So, I hate to start off being a downer, but my dog passed away recently.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah, it has been really shit. But I think things are kind of getting better now, I guess. I suppose. I'm not quite sure because like lockdown's easing up. I'm moving back to uni. I got a new games console today, which is also fantastic.
What did you get?
I got a Nintendo Switch.
Oh, nice.
It's actually my second one because I've had a Lite for a year and I wanted to start streaming and I need an actual Switch dock to do that. Which...
Did you get it for yourself or did your wife's boyfriend get it for you?
My wife's...
Does it nuzzle in comfortably between your Funko Pops? I'm making fun of you. I do like the Switch. I think it's quite good.
I'm really sorry about that.
Memeing you unnecessarily.
I have been mostly okay, right? I am 19 and I play Animal Crossing. It makes me sad. I admit it. All right.
You know what? I had a go on the new Animal Crossing. I don't have a Switch, so I had a quick play on it. Seemed fun, and I always liked the one on the DS. Although I'm more partial to Harvest Moon. That's more my bag, really.
Yeah, this is my first Animal Crossing game. I'll be honest. I've never played it before, but it's become therapy. So, because I can't afford an actual therapist. So there we go. Sometimes
Who can?
I just need a talking duck. Sometimes I just need a talking duck to cheer me up. Capitalist raccoons. Good evening, capitalists. How's everyone doing? Have you been chased by pirates, Gecko?
No, although Rudy has started watching Black Sails, which is one of my favourite shows, so I got very excited because that's one of my friends. I can now share one of my favourite shows with them, so I'm quite excited.
Nice.
Chainmail's going to cost me 70 gold, apparently. Oh, why don't you eat a dick? I don't have 70 gold.
Switch version isn't as good as New Leaf, someone has said. Well, I don't know. I never played New Leaf. I could consult my partner, but I don't know. Near impossible to get the amiibo cards right now. That's because the Sanrio ones have come out and everyone's sort of stolen them. Enough on that. How is your thumbnail healing up? Right
okay, so anyone who doesn't follow me on Instagram is going to be confused as hell. Basically, I accidentally drove a screw through my thumbnail, just out of stupidity, really. I couldn't find my safety gloves, and I hadn't flattened these screws that were behind me that I should have flattened. So as I was wrenching one out with a hammer, my whole hand, with the weight of the hammer, just went flying backwards, and I just kind of impaled myself. It was really retarded.
A whole impale on your whole thumb.
It was dumb. It was some dumb shit, but it's fine now. It's got a little mark on it, but it's fine, and it'll heal up just fine.
Well, that's good. I just kind of got a flashback when you posted it to I got my fingers stuck in a toilet door at the tape museum. And
I'm sorry, at the tape museum, did you say?
The Tate Museum.
I was gonna say that. Yeah, surely not.
I know. Okay, so I know London kind of sinks low in areas, but I don't think they have a tape museum yet.
Oh God, are you a Londoner? How awful! How awful for you. That must be terrible.
Well, I don't regularly live there. It's just my uni experience.
Even so.
Yeah, still not as bad as Eli So Crazy thumbnails. Oh no.
Well, I don't think there's much chance of him calling into the stream because it's. I don't think it's 3 AM in his time zone, so I think we're all right.
No. On the topic of things that's sort of a running gag now, my favourite racial slur.
I like how you went quiet. It's like I don't want to.
I'm not alone in my house.
Hey, I was gonna say I don't want my partner to hear me. I'm just like.
Not even my partner. It's my whole family.
Oh, okay. I was like, yeah, no, my partner's the one who got me into all the racism, actually.
I just tuned into. You made me want to get a VR headset.
VR chat's fun, right? Like it's shit, but it's good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like Twilight.
Yeah, it's just fun to kill time on and then rip the shit out of afterwards.
Yeah.
It's just entertainment for a little bit. And then you get on with your life saying, yeah, it's really bad, but it's really fun, yeah. I looked at some Oculus headsets, but then realised I'd spent all of my money on a Switch, so...
Rip in peace.
Shit on me, I guess.
Now this may seem familiar to some people. You need the ocarina to open the doors, but I lost it somewhere inside the cave.
Oh, well done.
Now here's an important thing about this game. If anyone's thinking of playing it, you have to talk to her. The ocarina will not be in the cave if you don't talk to her. For whatever reason, the way it's coded, it will not trigger the ocarina actually being an item in the cave if you don't speak to the girl who lost it. So yeah, make sure to talk to everyone in this game, because of shit like that.
There she is.
That's right, guys. I'm going to give everyone handy gameplay tips for a game that came out in 1991.
Oh, it looks fun. I like the mechanics of when you go into a house, it doesn't change the backdrop, but you see the inside of the house instead of like an awkward ass transition that takes too long. Like RPG games that just like, we're gonna load in all of these assets that are absolutely useless.
Now, what I could do... Oh, sorry. Yeah.
Sorry, I just read in the chat. Home Alone 2 is better than the first one. Someone said.
I don't disagree actually, but then again, I don't really like either of them.
They're not my favourite movies, but I'll be honest, I watched the second one first, and I think that's why I prefer it, because I'm more familiar with it. Because continuity and timelines just aren't a thing that registered in my brain when I was like 6.
No.
On this episode of Did You Know Gaming.
I never really cared if sequels were good when I was a kid.
No.
So to me it was just, oh, there's more. It's more of that thing I like. That was kind of my attitude.
Yeah, then you grow up and watch those sequels again, and you're like, this is dog shit.
Yeah. Although I was never dumb enough to like the Disney sequels, you know. I remember catching what the fuck was it called? Return to Neverland on TV once, and even as a very small child, I was just horrified by how bad it was.
Again, I think simply because of when the first one came out, Return to Neverland was the first one I saw.
Yeah.
But then when I watched the original, I was like, wow, this is very racist, but so much better somehow.
It's, you know, it is a little racist. It's a smidge racist. Yeah. It's on the racist side.
It is, yeah. Fun fact for anyone who doesn't know, if you watch the original Peter Pan movie on Disney Plus, it actually has a disclaimer at the beginning to say that there are racial stereotypes used. Which
I think is okay for Peter Pan, but it's got one for Aladdin as well. Now, I think Aladdin is one of the more positive depictions of Arabs that I've seen. More positive than real life, you might even say.
Why would you... That's... I can't. That's quite ridiculous.
Now, typically, folks, in the game here, you would go to Sonia, that's the name of the girl who lost the ocarina. You would go to her house and learn the songs that you need. However, unlike with Legend of Zelda, you don't need to learn them. If you know how to play them, the event will still trigger when you play them. So we're not going to bother with that because it's a waste of time.
Shadow White, don't quote me on that. This is how I get cancelled, and I'm not even an online presence. I wanted to say something about... Oh, dare I say his name? There was a very brief moment where we were talking about Onision in the chat.
Yeah.
And I'm going to ask you, Cope, do you know anything about the third book?
Very little. Is it the one where he punches God?
It's the one where he kills God. But it's also the one where his main character is literally a child.
Oh, yeah, it's the one with, this is the one with the child porn, right?
Yeah. So at least you're aware of that. Every time you said you didn't know about it, I was like, oh god.
To be fair, I got a lot of DMs after saying I didn't know too much about it.
Okay, fair. So everybody reacted in sort of the same way, just like, oh no, he's gonna read it and flip shit.
Damn it.
All the tables will be thrown, the windows will be broken. Spike and Gustav will have to go into hiding.
Gustav was out and about earlier, and he's just wonderful. He's so yellow. So Gemma just had him about her person when she was making food.
just like to sit on your hands and your
Yeah,
shoulders?
they're just very friendly. Like, Gustav was positively feral when we got him, but Gemma's like the reptile whisperer.
Oh god, that's a 5'10", 11-year-old. Yeah. Someone has pointed out in chat that the 11-year-old in Onision's third book is nearly 6 foot tall. Not allegedly.
That's so bizarre.
I think the girl that he was with in the sex scene, by the way, was either 15 or 16.
I mean, both of those things are gross, but the second one you said is significantly worse.
Yeah.
Because that's just a full-on sex crime.
The Orange Wizard. Greg is a nonce? Never.
Now that boss, a lot of first-time players find really hard because he's got a weird attack pattern, but once you memorize it, you can do it without taking any damage.
I do want to ask how often you play this game.
More than I should. This is a...
Never play a game too.
You know, like, comfort movies, comfort books. I personally have comfort games. This is one of them. Now the music's changed here, and all the mushroom monsters have gone. So we've Queen Eleanor was calling for us earlier, so we might go and pay her a wee visit. I think we should.
Oh god. What is this? Is this a boss fight?
Oh yes, of course you're looking at the stream, aren't you? So you'll be a bit behind.
Yes. Yeah. Sorry. You said all the mushroom monsters were gone as you fought a giant monster, so there's more mushrooms. Anyway, most of Greg's accomplishments have been sex crimes. Greg's accomplishments, I don't mean to give him any credit, but how has he fooled so many people into being his victims?
I mean, really, it's their own fault. That's what you're saying, right? Just want to be absolutely clear that what you are saying, this is not me putting words into your mouth, you're saying it's their own fault, and really we shouldn't feel sorry for them.
No, we should stop talking about this.
Yeah. Molest them again, is that what you're saying?
No!
Guys, I don't know, I do not... I'm just hosting this person on the stream, I do not support his views.
Mutual Instagram followers.
Yeah, that's all, we're certainly not friends.
We are not friends. Favourite movies, chaps? Comfort movies. I want to talk about now that Cove's mentioned it. What is your comfort movie, Jacob?
Jaws. Like, I didn't even have to think about that. Oh my god, it's the greatest. It's the best film ever made. Also, Frankenstein.
Oh, yes.
Even though Bride of Frankenstein is slightly better, Frankenstein, the first one, is just so, like, quick. Do you know what I mean? It's over in, like, 70 minutes, and just, it gets everything it needs to right. It's a great movie. Fuck, I've got loads of comfort movies. But Jaws is, like, the one, especially if I'm feeling ill. But I remember when I was really sick for a while, with some kind of stomach flu, I watched all the Terminator and RoboCop movies. And that cheered me up a lot.
That sounds quite fun.
And one more, King Kong. That's all of them. Because again, King Kong, short film, gets everything it needs to do out of the way quickly, and it's just paced fantastically.
I love a well-paced movie.
What are your comfort movies?
I really like Nightmare Before Christmas. That
Yeah.
was one
That's a great one.
Yeah, I had like really bad. I don't know what it was, but I think I might have had a stomach flu as well. But I was like really, really ill, and I just lay in bed watching Nightmare Before Christmas, just crying. I was in so much pain. But yeah, it did cheer me up in the end. It's just I like it. It's a good movie, and my mum is obsessed with it. So we've actually got. I know you joke about Funko Pops, but we've got a Jack Skellington Funko Pop in our living room.
Naturally.
I
have a little dance. I have a little dancing Oogie Boogie. He's on like his legs. There's like a spring between his legs and his torso. It's hidden by his like. It's not really fat, but you know, like the sack.
The sack body.
Yeah, so you can sort of make him dance.
Yeah. Oh, that's beautiful. Just imagining that is just that's fantastic. I think Oogie Boogie song has to be one of the catchiest things.
Oh, it's great. It's one of the all-time great villain songs. Now, we can't leave through this door yet. They want us to climb up all these stairs, but you don't have to. If you stand in the middle, you can just jump all the way up.
I've been taken prisoner by the monsters.
There we go.
Comfort movie is the live-action Cat in the Hat.
Oh, I fucking hate that film.
Sorry, Shadow White.
So this was another thing I was talking about triggering events by talking to people. If you don't talk to this woman, the gate never opens and you just get locked in here. Eventually, you'll figure out what to do by talking to her. Like you'll run out of things to try, and you'll just talk to all the NPCs, and that unlocks the gate. Kind of stupid, to be honest. So I think it's about time to wrap up with this call.
Yeah.
I'm trying to do about 15 minutes for everybody.
It's fair, same as last time.
Yeah, I think it worked. I think 50 minutes is good. Since obviously you and I get on quite well, I think we probably could drag this out a lot longer, but I don't think that would be particularly fair.
Shadow White has just said, I'm trying not to imagine Oogie Boogie sack, and I think that is the best way to end off this call.
I think so too. All right, well, take care. And,
Thanks for talking, bro.
Yep, no worries.
Have fun playing Vidya.
I'll try. God, what a dick. Oh,
Still here.
All right, can you hang up, please?
Yes, sorry. Bye.
Seriously though, what a tool. Right, hopefully the next person who calls in will be more interesting. I really like the music here. It's one of my favourite pieces of music in the game. In fact, I think the game has a great score throughout, but this particular piece is one of my favourites, especially for the early on sections. Let's turn that off for a second. Okay, there's a shit ton of calls. Okay, Marcel is calling. Hello. Oh, it appears I'm connected, but I don't think it's quite worked. Well, a lot of incoming calls. Hold on. There we are. Marcel Dupre, apparently. Are you there? Can you hear me? You are very quiet, my man. Let me see if I can turn up your volume there. Actually. Okay.
Is that good?
Yeah, I'm still going to turn you up on my end, but yeah, that's better. But I'm going to turn you up a little on my end. Okay, and turn.
Just a forewarning before I forget. I don't know if this is happening to other callers, but for me, every 5 minutes that I'm in the call on my own and you don't join, it kicks me off, and I have to restart the call. So if you look through.
Yeah, I can see that they've done. What I'll do then is, because they formed a nice neat line on the side of the screen for me here, even the people, when the call's disconnected, it still tells me I've got a missed call. So I'll just use that as the basis for a queue. So even if they're not ringing, I'll call them back. I think that'll probably work, I think.
Just wanted to make sure.
Thanks for the heads up, because I would not have known that. All right, so welcome to the stream. Nice to have you here. How you doing?
Pretty good. As March comes to an end, so does the winter term for me. And my first year of university is coming to an end.
Oh, lovely.
Quite an experience. Being all online. Quite an introduction. That's for sure.
Before you continue, I'd like to draw everyone's attention to this man's eyebrow. He just keeps raising it at me. I wonder if he thinks I'm a shoplifter. I don't know. Welcome to Bacchus. All right, reputation of good service. All right. We also, when you do play this game, it's important that you should probably learn the names of the shops as well for later on. Night Sword. So tell me a little bit about how university's going for you.
University. Well, as it is for anybody, it's stressful. I'm feeling a lot better than I did, when in the thick of it, because now we're getting to the end and then exam time is coming up. Earlier this afternoon, because there's a 5-hour difference between you and me, I'm 5 hours behind you guys. Earlier this afternoon, I was in one of my labs. The way that it works is we have like a Zoom meeting and people will just ask questions, but they can do the work and they learn the material at their own pace. And it was the last one of the year, at least for my section. So right at the end of the tutorial, when everybody had asked their questions, because I wanted to wait to the end. I didn't want to be a disturbance any more than I already was. I pulled out my trusty accordion and I played La Marseillaise as a celebration.
Nice.
So that was fun.
Now, importantly,
but then I found out. Pardon?
Can you play? This is very important. Can you play on your accordion the pizza music from Spider-Man 2?
That's a tricky one. From somebody who I can say that like does play the accordion, that is definitely gonna be a tricky one. I am not good enough to play it yet. That is definitely one of my goals, though. I'm working up to it.
This guy's got 2 twitching eyebrows. He's also in a secret little place. I can't talk to him yet. I've got nothing for him. But yes, the little bush
also,
here hides a secret door.
Well,
yeah, I do think there's. I'm not deliberately interrupting you. I think there's a slight delay.
I know what you mean. There come times when you just gotta hit the brakes and just address the matter at hand. You know what I mean? It's like, sorry, but look at this thing.
Yeah, but like I said, I think there's a delay in the call somewhere.
Can happen anywhere at any time.
During the, oh no, try and get some money now to buy some potion. Killing some low-level spoods.
If you get yourself some potions, you can start a 3 a.m. channel, and you can drink them on video, and you'll make millions of views.
Yeah, I'll be extremely rich, but at what cost?
Yeah, exactly. You've got no soul.
Yeah, just my soul, my immortal soul.
I mean, I don't, you know. You will have cast your immortal soul into the depths of the YouTube algorithm, from whence it shall never return.
I have another accordion question. Can you play any songs by They Might Be Giants?
I have never heard of They Might Be Giants.
That's a crying shame, because they have lots of accordion in a lot of their music.
When it comes to accordion, for me,
He's gone.
Very old-fashioned. I like proper old like waltzes and crap like that. So, like, that being said, I am not closed-minded about it, and now that you've brought it up to me, I will take a look and see what I think, and hopefully I can have the skill to play it, and if not, you work up to that point, right? It's just practice. But yeah, I'll check them out.
So yeah, a good chunk of this game, guys, is just NPCs giving you weird looks. So you have to get used to the game judging you. It's sort of like Wii Fit, you know?
I played Wii Fit a long time ago, like when I was a kid, and I had no idea what was going on and what the point was, and I barely remember it. I just remember standing on the little thing that you put on the floor and just kind of... Okay.
Wii Fit was one of the first wake-up calls for me playing it,
Right.
like
Not
years after its popularity as well. It was one of the many wake-up calls for me discovering I had an eating disorder. So that was interesting. It was, Wii Fit telling me I was dangerously underweight. I was like, oh, okay.
Ooh, yeah, that's not. I mean, it's better that. I mean, it's admittedly a very strange way of finding out, but I mean, it's at least it.
It was one of many things, like my friends freaking out and
helped?
stuff like
I
that.
don't know,
Yeah,
maybe,
it certainly helped. Yeah, eating disorders are
People
weird.
do have a
Another thing
strange.
to have.
People do have a strange thing though about the way that they accept things. Like you can have a bunch of people tell you something, but it isn't until you experience it in a different way that it actually sinks in. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I really wish I'd put on better boots. Alright.
You got the old hobnails on and you're just skidding all over the place.
Bad situation for me to be in right now. Oh, bollocks. Right. Okay. So, since we've got this time together, was there anything in particular you wanted to discuss or to ask about?
Particularly, I don't like structuring conversations too much, and I've been on call before, and we've generally not had too much of a problem talking. But I guess if anything, I do have one question for you that I would like to ask, and it relates because I would like to go to the United Kingdom someday. There are some things that I'd like, some places that I want to go throughout the country, mostly England. Are there, because I want to avoid the bigger cities, just
Sure.
because the stuff that I'd like to go see is generally more in the country. Are there any good places to stay that you would recommend?
Absolutely. Now, in terms of the north, I don't know too much about it. Like, my mum has done a lot of like hiking and stuff up there in the countryside. But that's very easy to find that stuff out. In terms of the south, there's a few places I would recommend. So, I would say check out in the southwest, all along the Cornish coast is beautiful, but it's not very warm. I would also recommend, and more on my neck of the woods, if you wanted to stay somewhere, my two favourite places in Kent are Broadstairs and Canterbury. Broadstairs more for the nature, although it is a historic town, but Canterbury for the history. Beautiful architecture, but it's a 2,000-year-old Roman city, even older than London. I say city, though. It's not really a city. It's very small. And not particularly busy. It's got city status because it has a university and a cathedral.
That's good.
But it's not really
That's
a
kind
city.
of what I'm. Yeah, that's kind of more what I'm going for. Like, I went to France in the summer of 2019, and we stayed. We toured a lot of Normandy because we wanted to see the beaches and some battlefields and whatnot. And we stayed in a city. And for anybody going to Normandy, and plan to stay there, I can't recommend this place enough. It's a city called Bayeux. Only really barely a city, very, very old, and very relaxed. Paris is a very tense kind of a city. A lot of people moving around, not terribly comfortable. Bayeux is very relaxed, very calm, very serene. So, and it's a great place to say, the people in Paris, if there are any Parisians listening, I'm sorry, but I have not had too many great experiences with Parisians. But the people of Bayeux are super friendly, very nice people, and lots to see there, too. The Notre Dame de Bayeux, the cathedral, right in the center of town. Beautiful cathedral, older than Notre Dame in Paris. And there's the Bayeux Tapestry, which I can't recommend enough that anybody see. It's an incredible thing to see. And it's... Yeah, but anyway, yeah. So, Bayeux, great city. You want to go to Normandy? You want to spend time in there? Go to Bayeux.
I've been to Normandy. I agree. I think it's a nice place. I only passed through Paris, and I didn't care for it.
I went to Paris, and I went to Paris, and I enjoyed two things primarily out of it. The first was I had the opportunity to go to a classical music concert, and by concert it was a solo violinist and a harpsichordist, but it was fantastic. They played beautifully, so that was kind of a rare treat that I got to go and see that. And the second thing, and again, I will suggest this to anybody who ever intends to go to Paris. There's a cathedral in Paris. Don't bother with Notre Dame de Paris. There's a lot of people crowded around trying to take pictures. There's another cathedral, and most of the time it's dead quiet in there and around there. It's called Saint-Sulpice. Sulpice. Beautiful cathedral. And every Sunday, starting at noon after Mass, they have an organ recital. Every Sunday. Well, like more in COVID, that is. I went there before COVID. Beautiful, beautiful old 16th century cathedral. Can't recommend it enough. And nobody in the stream can see it, but you can see through Discord. Marcel Dupré, which is my username and my profile picture, was the titular organist of Saint-Sulpice in ultimate after the 1930s to about the 1960s. So yeah, Saint-Sulpice, go there. It's great. Don't bother with Notre Dame de Paris. It's
But not much point now.
Yeah, there's not much point going. Yeah, you gotta look. And to be fair, there's nothing particularly wrong with Notre Dame, but Saint-Sulpice is criminally underrated.
I'm going to haul Canterbury out to you a little bit. More now. One, because the stonemasons of Canterbury Cathedral are some of the best stonemasons in the world. It's a lifetime contract. Several of them are on loan to Notre Dame at the moment to fix it up. But it's also one of the most important cathedrals in the history of Christianity, and absolutely well worth seeing. Obviously, it wasn't completed for centuries, but initially designed.
Well, neither was Saint-Sulpice.
Initially designed by St. Augustine, so it's kind of a big deal.
Oh, the St. Augustine.
Yeah. I ain't talking about St. Augustine of Hippo. I'm talking about the St. Augustine. So well worth checking out. It's where Thomas Becket was murdered. So,
Saint-Sulpice technically wasn't completed either, because... There you go. But yeah, Saint-Sulpice wasn't completed either. If you go there, or if you look at pictures, you'll notice that, you have two tall towers, like most cathedrals do at the very front, and you'll see, actually, that one of them is a little bit shorter than the other one, and it's not nearly as detailed. Because what happened was, in the middle of the just before the French Revolution, they were doing an upgrade to the towers. They did a couple of them. And when they finished one, and were in the process of doing the other one, and the French Revolution hit, and so that kind of put a damper on things. And what ended up happening is, it went from, well, we can't work on it, the revolutionaries are in the streets, run for your lives, to, well, we don't have the money, we don't have the resources, because the Reign of Terror kind of left everything in a shambles, to, well, it's kind of part of the cathedral's character now, It's kind of like, the reason the British wore red. It started off with, well, the English, I should say. It's like, well, it was cheap. Madder red, which was the dye they used, was the cheapest there was, so I'm gonna go with that, it's cheap. Went from that to, well, it's what we've always used, so we might as well keep using it, to, oh, well, it's a tradition now. We've been doing it for centuries. Might as well keep it up. So, anyway.
Well, my guy, we're about out of time now, but it's been interesting to have a chit-chat about a little history. Anytime you want to talk about a history, it's kind of a passion subject, and I don't get to talk about it as much as I used to. I used to work as a tour guide on boats, and I don't anymore, so I don't get to talk about history as much as I used to. My new job, there's like one or two history people, but not so many. Whereas I used to knock about with all the history boys from UKC, so I miss it. So if you want to chat about history with someone, you've got my Discord. So
great, sounds good. I will.
Crying out for someone to discuss these things with. But thanks for calling. And
fantastic. You have yourself a fine evening, and I hope you feel better.
Thank you. Yeah, I do kind of feel like shit, so I hope I feel better soon too. All right, take care.
Have a good one.
What a nice chap. Hopefully, though, the next person to call will have a slightly better internet connection. Got a bunch of friend requests. Let's accept these. Bang, bang, bang. There we are. Okay, and the next person is, it looks like Magna Faye or Fee. I don't know. Magna something. Catman.
Magna's fine. How are you doing, Jacob?
Just fine. Just fine, Magna. How Ultra Magnus. That's a transformer. Perhaps you're too young to know what that is. Welcome to the stream.
Glad to be here. not really sure what I wanted to talk about. But I guess firstly, I just wanted to say thanks for the laughs over the years. Been watching since 2017. I found you guys by complete accident, but you're one of the. I can count on one hand the number of YouTube channels I can watch videos from repeatedly and never really get tired of. And you're definitely MichaelLeroi is definitely on that list.
Thank you. You can't see, but I'm dabbing extremely hard right now. Like, my buttocks are practically touching the floor, and my face is very deep in the elbow. It's really uncomfortable. But I think I'm going to stop.
The flattery dab. I'm very familiar with the move.
Yeah. Well, the trick is to let out a fart just as you go down, because it propels you back up, but I didn't quite pull it off.
Maybe next time. I just gotta keep thinking of. I just gotta keep throwing platitudes your way, and I'll figure it out.
I haven't got a fucking clue what I'm talking about right now. So moving swiftly on. Oh, there's not.
Right.
We haven't had the best signal tonight, have we? I think the first caller was a bit distorted. Second one had an obscene amount of delay, and yours appears to be cutting out a little. So.
Oh well, I'm on push to talk, so that.
Oh,
might
I
be
see. Yeah, that's. It may not be the the. What the fuck's wrong with my voice? It may not be the internet then.
Yeah.
So, there's the gameplay right now probably isn't particularly exciting to watch, as I am just sort of farming bad guys.
Yeah, I noticed you took a fall off one of those. I guess river areas, and you're just like taking damage as you're gunning it for the other side, and I'm like, come on, is it gonna get it? And then you got it there on like a quarter of a heart, and I definitely felt that. You know,
that's what I'm here for, to provide much needed suspense in people's lives, you know.
We don't already have enough of that, so I'm glad you're providing more.
Yeah, everybody's terribly bored, so.
Yeah, quarantine has been a very strange experience for me because I've had two best friends that I've known for over half of my life, and for most of those years, we've lived in different states. I'm from the States, if you couldn't tell from the lack of, anything other than an American accent, I guess. So trying to socialize in quarantine is like, oh, well, I've been doing this for so long, I just have to do this with everyone I've ever met, instead of just these two people who already know how to, hang out with me over long distance with Skype and now Zoom, I guess. So I'm not super active on Discord. I literally just leveled up to 1 on the Axel Society server today, but I'm hoping I can increase my activity online just so I can keep chatting with cool people and staving off the boredom. Sorry, I'm doing like way too much of the talking right now, aren't I?
That's all right. There's not really a structure to it aside from everybody gets roughly 15 minutes. If you want to talk lots, by all means do. If you want me to do it, I'll do it. Do you know what I mean? There's not really a right way or wrong way is what I'm getting at.
Okay. Well, I didn't want to just come on here and only talk about MichaelLeroi because I understand that you and Gemma and Jacob and no, you're Jacob. Sorry, Toby and Matt. You're like, you're people outside of YouTube. So
yeah.
Usually I only get, and I don't have a very big social media presence, so I don't really know much about you guys beyond your YouTube channel and some of your short films. So yeah, I just kind of wanted to chat and I don't know, something about either topical or something you're passionate about. I guess like from my end, it's just been a lot of creative writing and drawing and trying to find new ways to spend most of my indoor time without getting super bored.
It's interesting. I've been doing a lot of work for my job that one might describe as creative, and yet I feel very creatively drained. I haven't been able to do any writing or anything recently, and yet I've written storylines for games and things for my work, and I've designed a bunch of puzzles and all that stuff, and written short scripts for games and things. and yet, yeah, at home, I have no interest in being creative at all.
Yeah, I kind of feel that. You get burnout from the lack of new stimuli, I suppose.
Yeah.
I did back in 2017, kind of around the time I found you guys, no relation, of course, but I made a New Year's resolution to be more consistent with my writing practice. And so what I did was I made a new Google Drive account, and every month I would start a new Word document and title it Practice My Writing, and then the month and the year. And then I would just, anytime I had any idea at all, whether it was just a prompt or if I thought of a full storyline or an outline, I would jot it down and then do my damnedest to actually get around to expanding on it. And quarantine has been sort of a mixed bag for me because I'm still doing that. But ultimately, I've had months where there's like 2 pages of Practice My Writing. And then there's been months where I've had like upward of 100 just because I can't stop this, like, you know, overthinking everything and trying to get down as many ideas as I can.
Oh, this is going to end poorly for me. There we go. Wasn't too bad. Now, yeah, I'm gonna try and get back into the swing of writing things. I, of course, have got a film coming out that's showing at a film festival, and I've entered it for some others, and hopefully it'll get shown there as well. To be honest, any accolades after it already being accepted to me is a win. Like, I wasn't expecting anything, so the fact that the first festival I applied to said yes, I just felt pretty good about that. So I
Congratulations.
hope. Yeah, well, thank you. I hope that you'll watch it when it comes out.
What is it called?
So it's the Grey Sea remake that we've done.
Oh, it's Grey Sea. Okay.
Yeah. I'm pretty happy with it. Yeah, we did a special Patreon-only screening of it, and fantastic feedback. I also sent it to some very close friends, and one of whom cried. I thought they cried because it was awful, but actually no. Apparently they were just moved by the film, so I felt pretty good about that.
Yeah, I mean I suppose that's ultimately what you want, is for your art to connect with people and invoke a powerful response so that it stays with them.
Yeah, exactly. You want to connect with the audience in some way.
Gosh, it's kind of crazy. Like, I'd never really thought about how much goes into filmmaking, and just, you know, how many moving parts there are. But I can certainly appreciate the level of like even just people management that it takes to coordinate everything and bring your vision to life. Because writing a story on paper is mostly just about doing research and, you know, it's a very individual process most of the time. But
yeah,
you take that one step further into a visual medium, and all of a sudden you need to be you need to be an extrovert as well as a creative mind.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff, especially on an independent film, where you end up doing a lot of jobs. So on Grey Sea, I was the writer, producer. I directed some of it, although I wasn't the main unit director. I directed some pieces of it, and I was also the editor. And editing is where the film is sort of made, so you end up doing half the directing in post anyway. So yeah, it was. And of course, we couldn't afford to hire a colorist or a sound designer, so they just fell in the purview of editing as well. So,
and then you become 4 different things.
Yeah, so the closing credits of the film are quite funny because my name and Gemma's name just appear so many times.
It's like a Neil Breen film, but actually good.
I mean, I wouldn't say good, but competent is the word I would use. For me,
it was made by somebody whose ego is not the size of Texas.
Yeah, for me, my ego is the size of a much smaller state.
Rhode Island.
Yeah, exactly. Ego the size of Rhode Island. I think that's probably fair. What the fuck was I talking about? I can't remember.
it's kind of turning into a blur of, oh, I like this. Yeah. How about this? Yes. And then we just proceed from there.
Oh yeah, I've quite forgotten what I was saying. Someone asked in the
yeah.
chat if I'd take their lung. I'm not going to do that. I will, however, accept the cash value of your lung. So
Yeah,
if you press the little
you'll
dollar,
accept-
press the little dollar button in the chat.
You'll accept the black market money, but you don't want to
Yeah.
procure it yourself.
Exactly. But oh yes, I remember what I was going to say now. It was about cinematography and how the yardstick I measure my films by is Doug Walker, and I always say sort of try to be objective and think, is this better than how Doug Walker would shoot it? And if the answer is no, I do it again. Because to me, that is the bare minimum quality anything should ever be. And if it's below that, or on par with it, you need to start again. This puzzle sucks. There's fucking no telegraphing at all.
I think that's a fair metric to judge by because you're not somebody working for a multi-million-dollar studio, so
Yeah.
certain tricks of the trade and photorealistic CGI whatever is going to be a bit unattainable, but you do your best with the tools that you've got, and you can't worry too much about comparing yourself to others because everybody's got different resources and a different vision. So there's no perfect film, there's no perfect script. You just try to do your best to make your vision come to life, and if people connect with it, that makes it better.
On one of the Patreon calls, we watched some of my older films, and there's a scene, I've quite forgotten about how much effort went into it. There's a scene in one of them where a bunch of sort of horrifying images flash up all at once, some of them shorter than a frame, and I was freeze framing them, and I was just looking at the special effects and thinking, God, we really pulled these off. Some of these look great. So I was really happy with that, to go back and look at some of those. Just using so we couldn't afford there was a little bit of latex, but we couldn't afford too much of it, so a lot of it we used there's this type of dough you can use that looks just like skin when you use it right, so it's great for having skin pulled off and things. So, yeah,
you can use that for all sorts of creative body horror scenes.
Yeah, exactly. So tricks of the trade, as you were saying, with my stuff, it's so low budget that a lot of the time I've just sort of learned by doing, sort of learning on the job, as it were. Shield. I probably should try to make 500 gold and buy that shield magic. Now, sorry, what were you gonna say?
Oh, I was just gonna ask if you have enough money for that chainmail now.
Oh, I bought the armor ages ago.
Oh, okay. I guess I must have missed that, but okay. But yeah, I was also gonna say, I really appreciate that you're able to look back at your old work and see the the work and commitment that went into it, because something I struggle with a bit as an artist, if that doesn't sound pretentious, something I struggle with is keeping that pride in my old work, because I'll look at something that I drew even just 2 months ago and I'll be like, oh god, this looks awful. And then I just keep drawing because I'm always trying to get better. And same thing happens with my writing, where I'll read something that I wrote a while ago and I'll be like, this language it doesn't feel right. And then I try to push myself to keep improving, but sometimes I kind of lose sight of, what made me appreciate what I wrote at the time that I wrote it. So I don't know, it's sort of like a self-sabotaging mindset where I want to constantly improve, but it always feels like I'm trying to do the next best thing that I've done instead of just appreciate all the steps that it took for me to get there.
I can relate to that. Certainly, they're trying to outdo yourself each time. But I have almost an opposite problem when it comes to my work. Is that I hate all of my work at first, and it takes me time to appreciate it. So I can't enjoy anything I've made usually for many months to about a year until after it's done. and then I go back and can look at it and go, oh, this was quite good, and I remember it fondly. But once I've completed a film, I always hate it and think it's the worst film anyone's ever made. It happens during editing. I'll be halfway through, and I'll be enjoying the edit and going, this is going really swimmingly. And I'll get to a point where I'll go, fuck, this film isn't working. This is garbage. I have no right to even be making films. I'm garbage. And then that stays right up until the film's finished and out there. And then it takes me about, depending on the film, about 5 months to a year to be able to watch it again and go, actually, I'm quite happy with it.
It's crazy how we opposite problems, but they kind of pull from the same, feelings of anxiety.
Yeah.
I think we're on 15 or 16 minutes now,
yes,
so I should
indeed.
probably
Yep.
I should probably take my leave. But
Yes,
thank you so much.
No, that's fine. No, you took the words out of my mouth. I was literally about to politely tell you to fuck off. Before I do, is there anything you want to say to either myself or more pertinently to the audience before you go?
Gosh, words of wisdom. Think Magna.
Put you on the fucking spot now, haven't I?
How about remember that even at your worst, you can't be worse than Onision. No, what I'm actually gonna say is, no matter what stage of life you're at, or if you feel like you're downtrodden, or you're not good enough, there will be better days. And just because things don't feel okay right now doesn't mean that they won't ever feel okay again. So just remember to keep living, because your life is worth living.
All right, now if everybody cleans the vomit off themselves, we get on to the next caller. Thank you very much for... I'm kidding. Thanks very much for calling. It's been a pleasure. Yeah, have a good one. They were nice. All right, who's next? Oh, I've got another friend request coming in. Better accept that. And now this person is next. I missed their call. Let me try and call them back. I don't think they're online anymore, so I may have missed them. But that's okay. We'll skip ahead. We'll leave it a moment, and if they answer, great. And if they don't, well, we'll move on to the next person. Hopefully they'll answer. But yeah, it doesn't look good, does it? Now, I've got to say, exploring the ocean in this game is fun, but it's also a pain in the arse, because it's really easy to miss cool hidden stuff that can benefit you. So we're going to have a look around and see what we can find. See, there's shit like that. And it's trying to remember it all. Oh, I hear a sound.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Hey, is my connection doing okay?
Yes, but I can hear myself echoing, so I don't. If you have headphones, that would be good, or you could turn the volume.
Sorry about that. I didn't expect the callback to be so.
That's okay. That's okay. Annoyingly, I don't think it's showing in the correct order for me. It's just randomly stacked up on the side, and I'm using that as the order because I have no idea what order people called in.
Dang.
Yeah, it's not ideal really, but what are you gonna do?
Yeah. Well, yeah, I've been a big fan of bad creepypasta for quite a while. Been watching the channel for a few years now. It's weird. Like, I feel like I just recently became a fan, but like when I think about how many years it's been, I've seen like 3 or 4 Christmas specials. Is that better?
Yeah, that's fine, just fine. But yeah, I know it's interesting, isn't it? How time kind of flies like that. I know what you mean. It doesn't feel like we've been even making the show as long as we have, but here we are.
Yeah.
It feels like yesterday. We got together to record the first one.
I know, Tails Doll. It's like...
Yeah, it really doesn't feel like a long time ago at all.
Yeah. I was gonna say, the way I actually found you guys, this is gonna sound weird, is I used to be a huge fan of Retsupre.
Oh, yes, yeah. I was a big fan of those guys. In fact, they probably influenced the show in more than I'd like to admit.
Yeah, they Flow Beef one day said hey, I've been getting into creepypastas from an ironic standpoint, and he started reading them, and I was like, oh my god, these it's just hilarious how ripe for parody and making fun of them creepypastas were. And, you know, eventually that series kind of petered out and it left me wanting. And then I discovered you guys, and I'm like, oh my God, this like fills the void of what I've been looking for. But as it went on, like your guys' rapport with each other, like it's, I don't know, it just, you guys play off of each other really, really well.
Well, that's really nice of you to say.
Yeah.
You know, I think you're right. I think the reason it works, you know, in my opinion, is that we are friends. Well, as I say, the three, the four of us, as it has been for a few years now. So there is just natural chemistry there that we don't have to, you know, worry too much.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the other thing that works, and I may be, you know, stroking your ego just a little bit too much here, but I think you're all very intelligent. I was gonna say, I think you're all very intelligent. Like, you guys will make a joke on something that I didn't actually even know about, and it'll like, I'll be like, oh, okay, like, you know, for me and my friends, we also do podcasts and stuff where we watch old shows and talk about, like, right now we're doing a podcast every week where we talk about the current Toonami block.
Oh, yeah. Is it any good?
And I think I'm funny, but you know, I'm not sure if I can recommend it, honestly. We tend to ramble a lot.
Okay, I mean, I'll watch it if you think it's good. Like, I mean, I won't if you think it sucks. It's up to you.
I mean, if you want to check it out, it's podnami at libsyn.com.
You can send me the link, can't you?
Yeah. I will. But yeah, we also do another one, and this one's on me because it's my job to edit, and I just never find enough time in the day to edit it, where we just watch old shows from our childhood. But what I've realized is that over time, I've slowly started to try to, I don't know, copy, or not copy, but try to base how I talk off of how I see you guys, because I'm like, these guys have such good comedic timing, and I'm so, like, subconsciously I'm like, all right, what would be a funny thing to say here? I'm trying to not do that because I don't want to be jacking the style, but I'll just say that
I think the thing is, it's that will happen at first. How long have you been doing it?
We started it in like 2015, I believe.
Okay, so quite a while.
Yeah.
Because I was gonna say what tends to happen, at least in my experience, is at first when you're kind of finding your feet, you will find yourself influenced, you know, by other people. But as you know, over time, you'll develop your own style. I mean, I think, like I say, although I think we did Creepypasta before they did, Red Supre was certainly making videos before us, doing, you know, the sort of the making fun of bad Let's Players and the making fun of shitty games and all that stuff. And I think our early style was much more ripping their style off, and over time we found our own voice. And you know, so that's there's nothing wrong with, you know, sort of aping somebody else's style at first, so long as you kind of build on it and think, well, okay, that's what I'm doing right now. I mean, you know, like most people, I think the first few videos I made were sort of heavily influenced by like Screw Attack and AVGN and all those kind of people. You know, when I very first started making YouTube videos. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of content creators fall into that. Like a lot of, like, with that surge of like video game reviewers, it's like so many of them were just trying to be AVGN.
Yeah. But
then they, you know, they developed from there, and everyone kind of fell into their own unique style. I was gonna say something else. I lost my train of thought. About just because I'm an artist. I went to art school, which means I don't value money. But one thing they told me is that a lot of the time, you know, your art is about stealing. Basically, you're just stealing smartly. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're being clever about what you're stealing, because eventually if you take inspiration from so many sources, eventually it slowly starts becoming this new voice that is what makes you up. the worst thing you can do is try to reinvent the wheel, basically, and try to, create something from nothing.
Yeah.
Like, it's okay to have inspiration so long as you're not, like, literally plagiarizing somebody.
Of course, yeah. And, and you're absolutely right. We all do it. I mean, obviously, I make films as a hobby, and I am hugely influenced by James Whale and David Lynch. But I don't necessarily think my films look or feel like theirs. But they are.
Right.
They have. I'm very informed by the way they make films, and I think that's helped me kind of find a voice. So yeah, I think there's nothing wrong, as you say, with copying. Because
absolutely.
Original ideas are not exactly going to be.
Yeah, I remember this. This is a dumb anecdote, I thought, but it's that Robert Frost thing where it's like I took the road less traveled, and it made all the difference. And sometimes I think like, I don't know, maybe the road, like no one was taking that road because it's a shitty road.
Yeah,
like maybe you should go down that first road. It's paved, it's well lit.
Becoming deeply frustrated looking for a hidden door at the moment. I know there's one of the fuckers around here somewhere. I'll be damned if I can figure out where it is.
What game is this? I came in a little bit late, but it looks real cool.
Wonder Boy in Monster World, which is its European title. It's also known as Monster World 3 or Wonder Boy 5.
I was gonna say, I think the stream, the game disappeared.
It should be there. It's showing up on my end, so.
Okay.
I think it went off for a while, but
my stream might be a little bit behind. It disappeared for me for a second.
There's the fucker. Right, it's just gold in here. Yeah. There's thunder magic around here somewhere.
Well, while I've got you, I've got to say, what would you say so far would be your favorite creepypasta, like, not, in quality, but like to riff off of? Like, which one do you think just gave you, like, so much material that it was just right for comedy? And
so there's a couple, really, and I think almost all the great ones were from season 1. So Thomas was pretty wonderful. I think that kind of was the first sort of teenage killer one we did.
Oh yes, the Toppler.
But I think the one that just gave me the most to work with, even though making fun of it, it was sort of shooting fish in a barrel. It was obviously made by a kid and all that, all that sort of shit. But was probably the Close Encounter with the Tails doll. Just everything about it, the obviously the famous falling on the ground thing, but there's all the other business, the random finding of like chainsaws and things like that. They're picking up a doll that looked like the Tails doll and giving it to his sister. The random army vet that showed up at the house, just shit like that. I was like, it was so weird. It was just like this weird stream of consciousness that I don't think the author really put a lot of thought into. I think he just scribbled it all down and then said, "Yep, post."
Yeah.
So yeah, that in some ways is a favorite.
Yeah, it is really interesting having watched this show for so long and become privy to so many creepypastas, because it's interesting how, like, all media, we sort of form these memes, like, in the logical sense of memes, where there's these trends that, like, a lot of creepypasta writers tend to fall into that were already not good.
Yeah.
But you get to see every spin on that not good idea. Like, it falls into, like, the 16-year-old making DeviantArt OCs kind of thing, where everyone has, like, fingerless gloves and is wearing Converse sneakers and blah blah blah. But then they try to make it into, like, a compelling horror story where a lot of creepypastas scream much more like, I really want fan art of my character, more so than create a compelling story.
I think you're absolutely right, and it's kind of sad, really, isn't it? But
yeah,
and
they want all the clout without any of the work.
I think you've kind of hit the nail on the head where intent is everything. You can't make something with the intention of making a phenomenon. You know, you just can't.
Yeah.
You have to have sincere motivations. And
yeah, exactly. It has to be. I want to create a story that facilitates this idea I have, rather than I have this idea and I need to make a story just because that's the medium I'm working with.
Yeah.
Like, if they could just, you know, draw a picture and say, hey, people, make stuff of this, they would just go that route. But since they're not skilled enough to do that, they have to say, like, all right, here's a story just so I can say that this is actually a character and not just, you know, vanity project, so I can get a lot of praise for making pale, black-haired, emo murder teenager number 76.
Indeed. Now, I think we're running out of time. So yeah. So I'll say the same thing I said to everybody else. Above and beyond, you know, thanks for calling. Yeah, was there anything you wanted to say to either, you know, to me or to the folks at home? Anything else you wanted to quickly run through before you go?
I think I pretty much said everything I want to say. I'm not going to try to plug myself too much. I already did that at the beginning. It's it's just nice being able to talk to you after all this time. I used to watch the old ones where you'd have like a guest on every other week, and I always thought, like, man, it'd be so cool if I could guest on one of these. And so, you know, in a small way, it feels like a dream's come true.
Okay, well, I'm gonna pretend you didn't just say that incredibly embarrassing shit and to save face for both of us. But yeah,
I'm sorry.
But yeah, thanks very much for calling. What's the name of that podcast so people can check it out if they want to?
It is Podnami. You can find it at podnami.libsyn.com. It's just me and my friends. We just recap basically a week of Toonami, which comes on Cartoon Network every Saturday at midnight. It's just basically us recounting the shows and riffing off, you know, the silly things that go on during them. Yeah, it's fun. Check it out. Thanks for having me.
All right, no worries. Take care. All right, now the next person has a picture that it's some anime character, but looks suspiciously, I was saying specifically then, looks suspiciously like Rocket Fist Rick. So let's give this person a call back, shall we? A callback is what I call it when I call someone back.
Hello, Jacob. How are you?
That is a very masculine voice you've got there. I'm feeling a little bit emasculated.
Well, I'm used to people commenting on it.
My God, would you listen to that? That would put hairs on your chest.
Well, I'm gonna be brief. I just wanted to call to mention that I've been rewatching the Bad Creepypasta playlist recently, and it's actually the second time doing it in the last like 5 months. I made a comment about it a while ago. Actually, you hearted it on the very first episode, so thanks for that. That was pretty nice. I wanted to point out that someone, I don't know if it was you or Toby or whoever, but someone put Darude Sandstorm Potato cover on the Season 5 playlist.
Yes, you're absolutely right.
Right between Judge Angel's Part 1 and Part 2. And
Twas I.
Well, yeah, well, I just wanted to let you know in case you hadn't realized, or does it connect with Judge Angels in some way?
It's a stupid joke. I did it basically as a kind of a test to see would anyone notice. It's like, is anyone going to see if I put something completely unrelated in the playlist?
Well, you got the answer now. But...
Yeah, and yes, somebody did. So well done, you.
I was playing that day. I think it was Just Cause 3, and I was listening to the episodes, and I realized at one point that the story just stopped, and I wasn't hearing anything. I was just hearing some clacking on the background or something. And I switched to the browser, and there it is, fucking someone peeling a potato and making holes into it.
Yeah, bit of a stupid joke, really, but you know, I like it. I've got a very,
good.
you've probably noticed, I've got a very childish sense of humor. So.
Well, it must be right down my alley then, because I love the show.
Well,
Thanks
that's really kind of you to say. I'm glad you enjoyed the show.
And that's the second thing I wanted to say, that I really appreciate the time and effort that you and Matt and Toby and Gemma put into the show. It's really good. I've been watching you since I think the very first one I watched was the Squidward suicide episode, and that was in February of 2014. And I would listen the first time I listened to those episodes from back then was while I was playing XCOM, which is again what I said on the comment from a while ago. I listened to you while playing games, and it's really good, really enjoyable, and I appreciate it. Even though I wish I could throw some money on Patreon or something. I can't do that, unfortunately, but if I was a millionaire, I'd throw a lot of money your way.
Well, that's very nice of you to say. And yeah, like I said, anybody with the Patreon thing, it's not only can not everybody afford it, it's also not everybody's preference to to spend money on this sort of thing. So yeah, don't worry about it. We just appreciate the support in any way, even if it's just watching the videos.
And everyone appreciates your work. Thank you, man.
Well, not everybody, but
well, not guys like JC the hyena, but
yeah,
he wants to fuck 14-year-olds, so who gives a shit?
Yeah, who cares what he thinks, right? Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying everyone who has a problem with me likes to fuck 14-year-olds, but there's a strange correlation that some of them do. So take from that what you will.
And that was it, really.
Awesome.
I wanted to be brief.
Yeah,
leave some space for other people.
Awesome. Well, really nice to meet you, dude. And listen, if the joke I made about your voice, if that made you uncomfortable, I apologize.
No, it's fine.
I was just joshing about.
You go first.
No, I was just saying I was just messing about.
Yeah, don't worry about it. I hear a lot of jokes, so.
Yeah. No, but you sound great. It's a very pleasant.
Thank you. Yeah, I think the two most common comments I get about it is that I sound like an ex-convict, and I sound like a rapist. So you're nowhere near those. That kind of comment.
I just made a joke about you making me feel inadequate. Like perhaps mine was a little kinder. But
much more tame.
Yeah, but yeah, thanks for calling, dude. Really nice to talk to you.
Likewise, man.
All right, take care.
You too.
All right, that's freed up a bit of time. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to wait till it rolls over to exactly 11 o'clock, which will make it easier to do this in 15-minute increments. Someone's just sent me a message just saying thank you, so I'm going to reply and just like, you too, buddy. Alright, so, next person. Oh, they've got it looks like a archer or some kind of fantasy character they've got there, which, I'm keen on that as an avatar, even if I don't know what it's from. Put the game back on. How's everybody feeling, by the way, in the chat? Because obviously I'm not really looking at the chat too much. I'm talking to these guys. Oh, I'm jumping around and stuff. This is the music that's playing. I've turned it into a song. And you can too, guys. You can use your imagination and your mouth words to turn pieces of music into songs. I did call this person back, but I don't think they've received my call. That is a shame. I am going to have to I'll wait probably one more minute and then call the next person. It's probably the smart thing to do, isn't it? I'm thinking out loud. I don't expect answers to these questions. Feeling great. I'm feeling like shit. I'm feeling positive because it's nice to do a stream and to hang out with you guys, get to talk to the audience a bit, because it's one of those interesting things, isn't it? Doing this sort of job it's very interactive with what is essentially the audience is sort of the customer, I suppose. It's really interactive, being able to talk to them and get proper feedback like that. And I don't know. The risk of sounding arrogant, I feel like getting this downtime with you guys, I'm sort of giving something back from all the attention you guys are giving me. I don't know. I know what I'm trying to say, but I sound like a cunt, so let's just pretend I didn't say any of it. Is the game good? It's fucking great. This is a really fun game. Okay, so this person is not going to answer, so we're gonna skip over them. They can always try and call back later. Okay. Oh, that's the link to the podcast. Oh god, I've missed 24 calls from this person. Right. Oh yes, this is I know who this is. This person's a Toby Stan. It's not a voice call. I have to preemptively apologise that Toby isn't here.
Too perky.
Hello, welcome back. We've had you on the show before. Well, welcome to...
Yes, I have. Hold on real quick. Let me get my headphones ready.
No problem at
the
all.
audio's a little quiet.
I'm absolutely not going to give you my ocarina. Go fuck yourself.
Oh, there
You
we
can't
go.
have my ocarina.
Turn them on. Hey. Wait, hello?
Hello.
Wait,
You're a bit quiet. Have you got a volume control there or?
Yes, I just turned it on. Can you hear me?
Yes, you are a bit quiet though.
I could turn off my headphones and just do it by speaker.
Shall we try that and see if we're getting too much echo? And if we are, getting too much echo, then we'll
Better?
let's find out. Poopy butt, toilet, Willy. Right? No, I can't hear myself. That's fine. That's much better.
Hi. I'm so nervous.
I don't know what you have to be nervous about. That you called in on the first one of these we ever did. You're also on Patreon, so you had calls on there. I think you've been on the show. So yeah, I don't really think you've got anything to be nervous about. And there are very few people in the audience, so relax.
Okay. Okay, how you doing? How's it been going for you?
Well, I'm sick as a dog for one thing, which obviously not great, and
Damn.
I'm pretty burned out from working all the time.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's okay. At least I'm not bored. One of the worst things in the world you can be is bored. So at the
Yeah.
very least I'm busy, which during lockdown, during these crazy times we're living in, I ought to be grateful really that I've not had the chance to get bored.
Yeah, that's true. Well, I'm glad you're doing okay. Life has been crazy. What happened to me? Lost my job because I had a mental breakdown at work, spent some time in the hospital, had to not go back to work due to mental stress and back injuries, currently staying at home all day, writing a novel, and I got a new cell phone.
Okay, well, I mean, that wasn't going very well, but you got a new phone, so I feel like that's balanced it out a bit.
Yeah. Well, oh my God. I can't believe, I know that you're probably upset that Biden won, but I always chalk it up to the fact that there is no such thing as a good president.
Yeah, I agree. I'm not too worried about it. I don't live in the States. It doesn't really concern me. Everybody likes to get involved in politics when there's a big election happening. We all like to support our favorite sports team. But ultimately, it doesn't really affect me. you know, one of the things I think, like a lot of Democrats, he's got a pretty disastrous foreign policy, but that's really none of my business. You know,
Yeah.
I don't live over there, so it doesn't really concern me.
That's great. But I wanted to ask, what is up with all the weird incest in the royal family? What's going on with that?
This may shock you. I don't know the royal family personally, never met them, so I can't possibly say why they're all, you know, having sex with each other. Aside from the fact, you know, they're old families, old European families, and that's what they do.
They need to stop, or they're gonna be having some weird-looking children. Oh no!
But they already have weird-looking children. You've seen some of the royals,
Never
right?
mind.
I think what's amazing to me is quite a lot of them are ugly, and yet they have so many, you know, like Prince William, for example, looks like he's inbred, and yet countless women think he's, you know, gorgeous, which is proof to me that you know, people say, oh, you know, it's only gold diggers, really. There's no such thing as, you know, it's not true that all women are just after money. And I think, well, I don't think all these women would be lining up to, you know, to sleep with Prince William if he was, if he made the same amount of money I did.
Yeah. And then I think Harry looks the best, but
That's
I'm
probably because
pretty
he has
sure
the
he's
least amount of royal blood in him. That's why.
that's what I'm saying. I'm pretty sure he's not related to his father at all.
Yeah, I think that's probably a safe bet.
Because there's no way that a blonde and a brunette had a redheaded child.
No.
Oh,
A blonde who was known for marital infidelity as well.
I love the royal family though. It's like the Kardashians, man.
That's a very interesting way of looking at it.
Hey, all they need is a camera up in their house, and yeah, it's the Kardashians. Did you hear that they finally ended the show?
I didn't know it was still going, to be honest. I don't know.
The world is gonna come to an end now.
I feel like if, you know, the world had a chance to end last year, it didn't, you know, somehow. So I think we're good. You know, we all lived through an extinction level event, and somehow we're still here. So
True. I'm hoping it's over soon, but I doubt it at this point. I'm just looking forward to living, I guess, for another 20 years.
only another 20 years. That seems like quite a short lifespan.
I'm hoping for 20 minutes. If I live longer, then God is good. But I'm banking on 20.
Well, I found out recently. I thought I had cancer. It turns out I don't. So I'm on pretty much cloud 9 when it comes to living. But interestingly, it has made me. I don't know if I should say this stuff publicly where my employers could hear it. I really do like my job in many ways, but it's made me think about certain things, about how perhaps I'm wasting my life, and I should do something more creative. I mean, it is a creative job, but more in line with my qualifications and my interests. So and that notion of I'm not going to die young sort of has hit me recently in a not fully positive way, but in a more sort of introspective way, in a sort of, oh crap, it doesn't make me feel like I'm going to live forever. It makes, even though there's a sense of relief, that awareness that I thought I really did have a very serious disease, that awareness of it has made me very aware of the fact I only have a certain amount of time to live, and certainly have become worried that I'm wasting my life. So I'll put it that way.
At least you're very handsome. I mean, like, you are very, very attractive.
That's true. I have got that going for me. Handsome, intelligent, good with ladies, modest too. So, a lot going for me.
Oh, that's good. And I've decided to go back to school. I don't know if you remember this, but I remember we had like a Patreon chat, and I told you I dropped out because the teacher was mean. Yeah, I realized later on I was being a colossal bitch, so I went like, let's not do that again, and I just registered back into that school.
Well, good. I'm glad you're going back to school. You know, academia is not for everybody. I always say that to everybody. I was like, look, don't feel obliged like to study if it's not for you. But if you feel like it's something you want to do, absolutely pursue it. You know, and don't give up.
And also, I've been watching The Room. I have not finished it yet. Why didn't anybody tell me it was that weird?
It's a strange movie, isn't it?
Like, yes, because it feels like it was supposed to be like some sort of like parody soap opera, but Tommy never got the green light, and so they kind of just put it all together into one movie. And like, cause there's like random scenes, like there's characters who are introduced that we never like know. There's weird subplots. Mark is introduced before we even get to know his name. The ADR for
strange.
Tommy is so bad.
That's one of the. Have you seen The Disaster Artist?
Not yet.
Okay, so when you watch The Disaster Artist, one of the things they never cover in that film is the ADR. It never comes up, and yet it's obviously such a huge part of that movie's production.
It turned out that so Tommy wrote the script, but he cannot remember the script. So they had to ADR a lot of stuff, and he even like was on the phone with like a voice code so he could get rid of his accent, and it just did not work.
I was gonna say that really fucking panned out. So apparently, I'm gonna just talk about the game for a moment. Apparently, you can just fucking buy Excalibur in a store in this world. That's Excalibur, and it costs 2,500 gold. It's not even that expensive. Like, it's expensive, but considering, you know, this is the sword that, you know, united England, you can just have it for 2,500 gold. 2,000 gold for a shield. Fuck it, yeah, I'll buy that as well.
I don't blame you.
Boom.
But,
Not
and so I
fucking
kept
badass,
pausing the movie because there were just so many scenes that just stood out and didn't make any sense to me. Like, I could write like essays for like one scene, like the breast cancer scene. So
Yeah. Well, that's like a plot line that just drops and goes nowhere.
just goes nowhere. And then so then like a comment said like, oh, maybe Tommy was depicting her as like a hypochondriac, and that was like why Lisa replied the way she did. But she says, I got the test results back. I definitely have breast cancer. And then Lisa's just like, oh, well, I mean, they cure it all the time. Like, what the fuck? You just found out your mom has breast cancer. At least shed a tear. It's a gold mine, man. It's like I praise Tommy Wiseau, our alien king, warlord, warlock who came to Earth one day to study our human ways. I'm so glad he came to us, and I hope we don't lose him soon.
That would have been, I think we could, 2020 was a bad year, and I don't think we'd have recovered if we'd lost Tommy Wiseau.
I know. We would have been nothing without him, man. He is a national treasure. And funny thing, when I was showing clips to my sister,
A national treasure who's who of an unknown nationality.
that's the secret. We never can find out, because if we find out, we're gonna all go insane. It's gonna be like, what's that author? The dude who had like the racist name for his cat.
Oh, H.P. Lovecraft.
H.P. Lovecraft. It's like those aliens. Like if we see what they really look like, we're just gonna go insane.
Thank you, Pimp Demon. King Arthur. I'm gonna sell you to a random person. Yeah, I guess he's finished with it now by this point in you know, medieval history, right? He's like, yeah, don't need Excalibur anymore. I'm gonna sell it to a shop in Monster World.
God, I'm just talking about The Room so much. I'm sorry.
That's fine. I was just responding to a super chat.
The movie is a national treasure to me.
I love a lot of bad movies. You know, it's like, it's kind of.
Yeah.
I love great movies. I love bad movies. One thing I don't like is mediocre movies. Like,
Yeah, definitely. like those Disney Channel movies.
Okay, and I'm gonna go and return because I don't know how to get the fuck out of this tube now.
The one movie I love, but I don't get why everybody else hates it, is Good Burger from Nickelodeon.
I never saw Good Burger.
I adore that movie, and I really don't get why people dislike it. I remember, like, the Nostalgia Critic did a review, just going in on it. It's like,
Yeah, but who the fuck cares what a Nostalgia Critic thinks, though? Like,
I know
that guy doesn't like any movie or really understand any movie. Like, so often I'll just watch him just flagrantly miss the point of like every film he's watched.
Exactly. Like, I remember, I don't think nobody has probably seen this video, but like he was doing his Disney December review, and so he looked over the Cheetah Girls movie. I don't know if you know what that is. It's like a musical sort of, and he just like, what's the right word? Like, he had this bitch fit. Is that the right word to use?
I mean, that does typically sum up Doug Walker's content. Bitch fit, I think.
He had this huge bitch fit about like, oh man, it's talking about how bad the music industry is, while also talking about doing this stuff with the music industry. Like, how dare they? It's like, hello? What just happened? Hello?
No, I'm still here. I was just listening.
Oh, okay. I think I got like a call or something.
Oh, okay.
But like, he just like, he's whining and just yelling. And it was like a 13-minute long video over a kid's movie. It's like, dude, come on. It's not this serious.
Well, that's about it, I think, for the call in terms of time. Was there anything you wanted to quickly mention or ask before we wrap things up?
That you hang in there, you get better, and you guys are the best people on YouTube. Thank you for so many laughs.
Thank you so much.
And thank you for giving me the reason to cuss, because now I can say fuck.
All right. Well, I'm not sure if that's something I should be proud of, but thank you very much for calling. Thanks for your compliments, and good luck to you as well. It sounds like obviously you've been through you've been through the mill a little bit. So I hope things start to improve for you as well, and good luck with the novel.
Thank you.
All right. Take care. Now, guys, before we take the next call, I'm going to nip out of the room and get some more coffee. I shouldn't be drinking coffee at 11:20 at night, but fuck it, you know? So I will be right back. I have returned. I would have been quicker, but my coffee pot has a safety mechanism you can't turn off. Basically, after about 45 minutes, the hot plate turns off underneath the pot. You cannot turn this function off, which is really annoying. So the coffee had gone cold, so I then had to microwave it, which is not exactly the ideal way to enjoy a drink. But, what are you going to do, eh? Supposed to be what to take another call. Alright, let's just ring this guy back. What's his name? Harmonia, apparently. Doubtfully their real name. If it is, that's pretty fucking nuts. So let's call them back. Hello. I'll try again. Hello. And
Hello?
Oh, there we are. That's a human voice.
Hello?
Hello.
Sorry, I had problems setting up my mic.
That's fine. Welcome to the stream.
Alright, I'm doing good. How are you?
Yeah, just fine.
Yeah.
Not feeling 100%, but
Yeah.
just getting on with it really. Enjoying the stream.
Yep.
It's nice.
Oh, just so you know, the game's not back up.
That's okay.
Okay. Yeah, I just didn't know.
Yeah, that's fine. Does anyone care too deeply about the visuals? I'll put them back on now.
Oh, okay. Yeah, honestly, I was not really
it's showing on OBS that it's on. So.
Oh, I see. Yeah, I see it now.
Okay, yeah, it's just a small delay.
Yeah, I just wanted to make sure you knew.
Yeah, a small delay.
All right.
I'll unequip the trident because there we go. Have I got decent armor? Let's have a look. Steel armor. All right, it's the best I've got at the moment. Okay. So, now that you're here, now that I've got you, what did you want to talk about? What made you call in?
Honestly, just to really just talk in. Hold on. I remember like somebody brought something up in chat earlier. I'm trying to find what it was. Oh, this. Apparently, YouTube's removing dislikes. I am not surprised that in the slightest.
It's disappointing. I think likes and dislikes are kind of a useful metric, I suppose. Because to me, and I'm sure many people feel this way, it's not about the number of likes a video has that determines whether or not it's decent, but it's about the ratio.
I would say the same thing. Honestly, all I really see it is that they just don't want to have another bad publicity stunt like what was it 2018 where their rewind got completely review bombed.
Yeah, I mean, well, it was garbage. You know, people were right.
Oh yeah, I know.
I certainly thumbed it down.
Oh yeah, it's just companies they listen, but if they hear what they don't want to hear, they just shut out completely.
Yeah. The entire corporate world is corporate entertainment world is hilarious at the moment. I talked about this the other day about how Warner Media and AT&T completely at odds with each other about what to do with DC, and it's so funny because AT&T wants the Snyderverse restored, and Warner Media wants the public to forget about Zack Snyder.
Well, I mean, I would.
What do we do?
I'd probably not forget it, seeing that the Snyder Cut did pretty good.
Yeah. They're just frightened of money, apparently.
Oh yeah.
I think that Warner Media is kind of like a Brewster's Millions or the producers kind of situation, where they need to make a flop. That's why they make. How the fuck else do you explain Birds of Prey?
Honestly, I'm trying to think. I haven't really watched much of it, so I wouldn't be able to say. You there?
Yes, I'm here. Sorry, I just had nothing to add.
Okay.
So this tomb appears to be haunted by very charming, cute ghosts. So-
Yep. They're pretty cute.
So, people who haven't, and yourself included, actually, people who haven't seen or heard of this game before, is it appealing to you? Have I sold it to you? Because I know a lot of people wanted to play Land of Illusion after my previous one of these. So
Yeah,
I'm hoping I've done the
yeah,
same
I was
thing
on the
with this.
I was on the last one too. I just didn't really remember much of it.
Did you call in on the last one?
Yes.
Yeah, so I don't have the best memory. So
Yeah, I know. I wouldn't blame you.
yeah, I'm certainly not trying to be impolite. I just don't always remember.
No, it's
everybody.
fine. Yeah, I mean, like, you get a bunch of people here, so
It's gonna
it's
happen.
hard to, it's just hard to remember everyone.
So this is a very useful treasure chest. It's got all manner of magic spells in it. So
Hmm.
you definitely want that. Oh bloody hell! All right. So then, in fact, we've got extra quake magic. I'm going to use now. There we go. Get rid of these guys. Ah, fuck! I'm stuck. All right. Fuck. Is there a bad group as a Discord? Somebody asked in the chat. Yes, there is. In fact, there's
Yeah,
two.
I saw that.
Yeah, there's two. There's a regular one and there's a Patreon one. The regular one is pretty overpopulated, to be honest. Like, there's a lot of fuckers in there, so it's a little bit daunting for me to talk to people in there. But the Patreon one, I'm much more relaxed when I'm in there.
Yeah, I know that feeling. It just feels,
yeah.
it just.
I get a little bit anxious in
Yeah,
the,
it's just like when there's a lot of people around. It's just like you just get anxious.
So this is going to be difficult for me because I have to answer the questions by pressing buttons A, B, or C, which are not labelled correctly on my controller. So I've got to try and remember which one is A. So I've turned the controller sort of sideways so they're in a line. Hopefully that will help.
Yeah, you're on an emulator, right?
Yeah,
Oh,
I do have this game on original hardware, but obviously for doing these Discord calls, it's a lot easier to do it through emulator.
Yeah, to be honest, I'm not really much of a stickler about piracy.
Yeah, I say, I mean, it's a game from 1991. I can imagine they're losing
Oh,
a
yeah.
ton of money. And like I say, I do own the original hardware as well. Like I've still got the same cartridge and box that I had when I was a little boy. So very happy with that. Okay, here's the first question. What's the name of the dwarf village? I know that. Lilypad.
The Dwarf Village.
Yeah. These are really easy. It's not always the same questions, so
Yeah.
so far these are really easy.
Yeah. I feel like this game would be short enough that you could just remember.
Eleanor. You do run out of time with the questions as well, so you gotta be careful.
Oh, I just assumed
half a million.
I just assumed it was just like the Banjo-Kazooie games where you can't really mess up unless you answer wrong.
Yeah. No. With this one, you run out. There we go. You want to get them all right, because then you get extra thunder magic, basically.
Oh.
But yeah, you with this game, with the quiz, you have to answer within a certain amount of seconds.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, you're fucked.
Yeah. Wait, what happens if you answer wrong?
Well, you can still complete the level, but you don't walk away with your extra thunder magic, basically.
Oh.
All right. Is there a way for me to leave now, or do I have to?
Oh, for a second I thought you meant leave the call. I was going to say, like, I'm not that boring, am I?
No. I think I'm going to have to use my return spell. That's annoying. But I can save now, at least.
Oh, somebody just asked in the chat where they can find the regular Discord.
It's not in the About section of the channel. That's strange. It's in most of the videos. It's probably not in this one, but it's in most of the video descriptions. So if you click on one of our recent videos, it should be in the description. Yeah. What the fuck am I doing? Oh yeah, I'm going back to the desert.
Yeah, I've never been in the Discord before. I'm gonna have to go in there.
Gemma's just Gemma's come down the stairs. She's finished what she was doing and is playing Skyrim now.
What was she doing?
She was doing another stream.
Huh.
Basically, I wouldn't have streamed tonight, but as I mentioned at the beginning, I've got to put content out because basically YouTube, they tally everything up on a month by month basis. So this is like obviously the last day of March, and I had to get something out to kind of try to salvage the last couple of days to try and salvage March.
It isn't
the copyright strike.
Oh, wait, isn't it April where you live right now?
Not for another half an hour.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I just didn't know.
Thank you very much, Pimp Demon. I want to call Jacob, but I'm too shy. Damn it.
I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, just do it. What's the worst that could happen?
Speaking of damn it, I pressed the wrong button.
Yeah.
To cast my spell then, and I ended up pressing the A button in conjunction with nothing instead of in conjunction with right, which is where the Quake spell is.
Yeah.
I'm going to equip a second spell as well. There we are. Just so I can, if I accidentally press the wrong side, I can still attack. My god, I'm getting absolutely battered. I'm playing like Toby.
What does he suck at games?
Oh, did you not know? This is. I thought this was known. Yeah, Toby's. Okay, so this is kind of mean because he's not here to defend himself.
Yeah.
Toby's fucking rotten at computer games.
I mean, at least he's not as bad as DSP.
Who is like no like? There's no one on earth as bad as Dark Side Phil. It's video games.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Pygmy shield. I'm gonna need that soon.
Hold on one sec. I need to mute myself.
It's all good. So there's not really anything to the east of here. Just a big old cliff, which I don't need to go up.
Sorry about that. There's this huge fucking loud ambulance that just went right by my house. I didn't know if you could hear it.
No, I couldn't. But thanks for
okay.
Yeah, thanks for being courteous.
Yeah. I don't even know what's going on because it's like, or I don't even like. I live in like the suburbs, so I usually don't have that happen.
Now I'm struggling to figure out whether my character has a bandana or some sort of crown.
Honest,
from the front it looks like a crown, but when we see it from the back, it looks like a bandana.
I would say kind of looks like a crown. I can't really tell.
Because at the beginning of the game, he just lives in like a small house. Like he doesn't look like he's royalty at all.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Who knows?
Yeah.
Maybe he just has really stupid hair.
Yeah. I mean, it's not the weirdest hair I've ever seen.
No, it's certainly not the weirdest hair you'll see in a video game either.
Yeah.
I'm a little bit annoyed this game got passed up for remaster. So in the Monster World series, the game prior to it, Dragon's Trap, and the game after it, Monster World 4, have both gotten HD remasters. This one has not, for whatever reason. It got missed out. Only the even-numbered Monster World games have got remasters. So 2 and 4, 1 and 3 have not.
Yeah.
And I don't know why. I'm extremely bitter about the whole thing.
I guess it would depend on how popular the games were. Like, were those the most popular games in the series?
4 was never released outside of Japan. So, where this one was released like in North America and the UK, and it got a South American release, but it was quite different. Like in Brazil, they used a bunch of popular comic book characters for it, but they completely redid the sprite art.
Yeah,
it's kind of weird. All right, so
yeah, that happens a lot. I can't really think of any examples off the top of my head. Doki Doki Panic, that's one.
Yeah, that's probably the most famous.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have the pygmy boots.
What do those do?
So you need, in order to become the pygmy, which is the next step of the game, you need all of the pygmy items.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have them all yet. I'm trying to remember where the pygmy boots are. I've obviously missed them along the way. So apparently the Elder Dragon wishes to discuss something with me. Oh, I don't need to turn into the pygmy just yet, actually, because I've got to do this whole ice village shit.
No.
Jawtoon Studio says that it is a crown, and they seem very confident about it, so I'm going to
Yeah,
say...
I see what they're. Yeah, yeah, it looks like a crown. I'd say.
Yeah, you're probably right. I don't know if you guys can hear the music at all, but this game's got banging music. Like the tracks are so good.
I have the stream muted, so I can't. But I was able to hear it earlier.
Thank you, Neighbours Kid, for $2. I made it back in time. What do I do? I don't know. Do what you want. I mean, you can give me some more money. that seems to be working out for everyone. Okay, so where the fuck should I go? Oh yeah.
Oh no.
I'm gonna go and I'm gonna go to the thing and the place. Now that I've got a bracelet, I'm gonna go and use it. Need to get back to Monster World 4. I bought it a year and a half ago and haven't played it since. It's a great game. There's a massive difficulty spike in that game. Not as in within the game, but in terms of within the franchise. I think part of the reason it was never released outside of Japan is because it was hard as shit. Because like this one, I wouldn't say it's particularly easy, but it's also not hugely challenging. Like this is sort of a medium difficulty, like fairly average for the time, I would say. In fact, for the time, probably leaning a little on the easy side, aside from a few dungeons.
This wasn't that. Oh, sorry, go.
No, what were you gonna say?
I was gonna say this was released in the early '90s, right?
Yeah, 91.
Yeah, I could see how this would be on the easier side.
There's a couple of like tough platforming sections, a couple of tough bosses. You know, some of the enemies can sort of ambush you, but yeah, it's not hard in the way a lot of games are from that era. A lot of first-time players I found really strong. I watched a guy stream this on Twitch, and he was playing it on PlayStation. Now, it was part of the Mega Drive collection, which is horribly emulated anyway. Like, that collection...
Hold on, I need to be right back.
That's fine. I've got the Mega Drive collection on PlayStation 4, and it's just not very well looked after. Like, they really didn't care. But anyway, he was playing this game, and he kept using the rewind function, because he kept getting killed constantly. And I thought, dude, how are you this bad at this game? Like, it's not super easy, but, you know, it's so not insanely tough. But yeah, Monster World 4 is fucking hard.
Yeah.
Have I got good enough boots to make it to there? Have I got any other boots? Marine boots, maybe? No. Ladder boots? No. So I can tell already. Because I made it to here the other day when I was playing with Logan on the PlayStation. What boots did I use? Did I use Oasis boots to do it?
I guess I wasn't
I can't make it.
Oh well. I guess my 15 minutes are up. Plus, I'm being called for dinner, so I guess I might as well go.
Okay, buddy. Well, it was nice to have you even for a brief little while. Yeah, obviously you go do whatever it is you got to do.
Okay.
Okay. Have a good one.
You too.
I'm sorry. I'm revealing people's Discord usernames. I shouldn't be doing that. There we are. All right. Hey, seems like a nice chap. All right. Thank you very much, Pimp Demon. Did you say give money? Well, here. You're too kind. Who's next? The neighbor's kid. I know who you are because you sometimes... What is this? Me listening to songs about death, war, and the desolation of humankind on my way to the store to pick up more SpongeBob mac and cheese. That's amazing. I'm a big fan of that. Look at that. Beautiful. Premium Maymay, my guy. Oh, fuck. That was bad. Welcome. He's silent. I think he's dead. I've done it again. I've killed another one. They'll never. The police will never catch me. One thing about difficulty in this game is it's really easy, especially if you're not used to it, to run straight into your enemies. It's difficult to describe. The controls are fine; they're not floaty at all. Even here, it's an ice section, so it's a little slippery. But it's so easy to just ram your enemies. Like, just get the timing slightly wrong with your sword swing, and just run straight into them. More so than a lot of other games, I think. It's difficult to describe, really, without you playing it. Oh, you cannot. He was only a little bit off the floor, still couldn't hit him with Quake. Yeah, there's supposed to be a person on the call with me right now, but he doesn't appear to be here. And so instead, how are you, Gemma, who is also here?
Hi. I'm okay. My throat hurts a little.
Okay, I won't ask you to talk then. You just do what I'm doing, play Vidya, except, you know, you can play Vidya quietly, I suppose.
Yeah, it's just, I was, like...
Hello?
Oh god, that's loud. Wow.
Gee, I'm sorry. Yeah, sorry, my mic wasn't working for whatever reason.
Well, that's fine. Well, I think you've managed to terrify everyone in the chat, so, welcome.
Yeah, sorry about that. I'm glad I made it to the stream in time.
Yeah, well, glad to have you here, and, you know, thank you for the super chats, by the way.
Yeah, just made it to the, I just got done watching Godzilla vs. Kong.
How was it? Spoil nothing, but tell us how it was.
It turns out the whole time Godzilla was Sebulba in disguise, and he was trying to get revenge on Kong, who was Anakin.
Gotta be honest, kind of saw it coming.
But it was amazing.
Good.
Like, I wouldn't say it's as good as King of the Monsters, but it was really worth watching.
King of the Monsters is fucking good, though.
Yeah, it was. The King of the Monsters was fantastic. So, how are you doing?
I'm alright. You know, I didn't get to watch Godzilla vs. Kong, so, you know, I'm probably, you know, I'm probably not doing as well as you are, but, having said that, you know, I'm playing some pretty classic Vidya, and talking to some largely pleasant people. Thank you, Cole the Conqueror, for the $4.99 RIP headphone users. Yeah, I'm using headphones at the moment. It was pretty brutal. The secret lies in the surface walls of the ice.
For whatever reason, my mic just wasn't working. Like, none of the input devices were working at all.
$4,000 for boots. Look at that shit.
Jeez.
I gotta stop shopping at Timberland. Right, I miss my Timbs.
So,
I felt rich when I was wearing them.
So you excited for any upcoming movies?
Really, only Godzilla vs. Kong. I don't know. I don't know what platform it's releasing in the UK. Because is that HBO Max?
Yeah, that's how I watched it.
We don't have HBO Max in the UK. It's usually there's various other platforms that will host their stuff. So I watched the Snyder Cut on Now TV. So
how was that?
Well, the Snyder Cut.
Yeah, I thought it was amazing.
Yeah, it was brilliant.
Yeah, it was so much better than Joss Whedon's.
Oh god, yeah, apples and oranges. I mean, I still think you could probably cut 40 minutes from it.
Yeah.
Like mostly cut the sequel bait, and you've got a really good movie.
Yeah, I think it should have been split into 2 movies.
I'm okay with it being one really long movie, because I think pacing-wise it would have been strange to chop it in half. But it's also interesting to watch it in episodes, because obviously it's got those little things that come up. You know, God, what's the phrase I'm looking for? You know, they have the sort of title cards that come and say Chapter 1, and then so you can kind of watch it like that if you want.
Imagine at the end of the movie, it's just like, end of Chapter 1, written by J.C. the Hyena.
Yeah, it certainly felt that long. Well, actually, no, it didn't. At least not for the first half of the film. I think eventually it started to drag.
Yeah, I got like an hour in. I was watching with my family, and I looked at the runtime, and I saw it was 4 hours, and I was like, oh fuck.
I think I only started. Sorry.
It was about 11 at night when I finished watching.
That's not too bad then. But it only started to feel like it was too long after the climax. Like once, because everything leading up to the climax, it feels very urgent, and it doesn't feel like you're wasting time. It feels like stuff's getting done. But then once once they defeat Steppenwolf, spoilers, the good guys win.
Wow.
I
wonder if Batman makes it out alive.
Once they defeat Steppenwolf, like the film sort of really loses momentum. And it just sort of meanders until the ending, and I think you could probably cut, again, no spoilers, but there's a shot where they homage the classic Superman with the shirt ripping open.
Yeah.
That should be the final shot of the picture. Just finish it with that. There doesn't need to be anything else. Just finish the movie right then and there.
Definitely.
There is no reason to continue.
I like the post-credit bits with Deathstroke, because he's a really cool villain.
It was cool. It was cool seeing Deathstroke. I'd forgotten. Because I have seen Justice League, but I was quite drunk when I watched it, so I'd forgotten that he was in it. So I was like, oh yeah, Deathstroke.
He's an awesome villain, and I don't ever think I've seen anything done with him. He was in Arrow, the TV show.
Yeah.
But I didn't get far into that at all. Like, I got to about episode 10, and it really started to repeat itself. Like, what's his name? Quinn or whatever is a superhero, and everyone's a dick to him.
Pimp Demon, thank you very much, asks, wait, was the legendary Axel in the movie? I don't believe so. Also, look at the name Look at the name of this village. I wonder if this is where Onision likes to hang out. Get it? Because it says child. I'm such a fucking comedic genius.
Child. Yeah, the stream's a bit delayed for me. I didn't see it at first. Oh, a few days ago when you were on VR chat, I tried to find you when you were doing that Onision. I just escaped from his basement.
Yeah.
And I went into that furry RP place you went into. I couldn't find you.
What the fuck What the fuck was I thinking? Allowing the chat to tell me what to say on VR chat.
Yeah,
foolish.
Someone walked up to me because I had like a little Shadow the Hedgehog avatar.
Yeah. And
was like, okay, so I'm gonna guess that you're a femboy. I fucking ran.
Well, what else could you do? I'm amazed you weren't frozen with fear.
I was. There's about a brief second where my brain and all other activity just stopped. Working.
If a high-pitched furry with a lisp calls me a femboy, that is activating the shit out of my fight or flight response.
Yeah. Like, I was helpless. I ran to whatever... I found any server I could and just bolted.
Yeah. Phantom Glide, thank you very much for the $5. Sarcastic spoilers, the good guys win. I mean, it is Zack Snyder. Wouldn't exactly surprise anyone if it ended with the entire galaxy blowing up.
Did you see the trailer for Suicide Squad, the James Gunn version?
Yeah, it looks alright, I think.
Yeah, it looks competent.
Yeah, some of the jokes made me roll my eyes, but the one I really liked was the eat a dick joke that ran on, because it reminded me of Matt, I think is why I enjoyed it. And I miss him a bit. So I think, that the whole, if this whole beach was covered in dicks, I was like, this is funny, but it's not hilarious. But then I actually did laugh out loud when...
at the center of the earth, it comes in, and then there's an entire land made of dicks.
Like, right at the end of the joke, when John there's like, why would someone put penises? And John Cena just goes like, who knows why madmen do what they do? Like, the delivery of that line just really slayed me. I was like, okay, I'm sold.
Yeah. I like, what's his name as King Shark? Why can't I think of his name?
I don't know who's playing King Shark, actually.
I'm gonna have to look it up now.
I didn't know it was anyone famous.
It is, I know it was. It was, fuck, who was it?
What's he been in?
The old shitty Judge Dredd.
Oh, right, yeah. I don't know which actor it is, but yeah, there's quite a few.
I don't know why I'm thinking of Steven Seagal.
Who does he play?
Judge Dredd.
Oh, he plays the main character, Sylvester Stallone.
Sylvester Stallone, that's right. Both started with S's.
Yeah, I mean that's a good choice considering he's got a speech impediment anyway. So
Yeah. I am the law.
that's a terrible movie. I tell you what, it's a good movie with him in. I watched again the other night. Demolition Man. That's a great movie.
I heard that. I heard that was a good movie.
It was one of my earliest exposures to satire, like as a concept when I was a kid. Was seeing that movie, like that and RoboCop were like the first satirical things I ever. And then in school, of course, when you learn about satire in English class, we did Jonathan Swift, and I was like, oh yeah, that was cool.
What you should do is when Logan is old enough, you should show him RoboCop.
He's seen RoboCop.
Okay, now show him the new terrible RoboCop.
Absolutely not gonna. I'm not gonna waste.
Teach him what to hate in
I'm
this
not gonna
world.
waste his time with the new RoboCop because that would mean I would probably have to watch it again. And if I had him watch it in bed, on his own, that would seem like a punishment. And so I have to wait for him to do something wrong and then send him to bed and make him watch the new RoboCop.
Just force him to watch terrible movies after he did something wrong. Logan, your punishment for breaking our new vase is to watch Terminator Genisys.
Oh God, a lot more than breaking a vase for that. That would have to be like cutting school and smoking.
I was gonna say like shooting a kid, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe that's severe enough.
No, it's shooting a kid. That's Terminator Dark Fate.
I heard that wasn't as bad.
You heard wrong.
My dad watched it. He said it wasn't as bad as Genisys or Salvation. But
to be fair,
anyway.
I'm jumping on the bandwagon because I haven't actually seen it. Who has?
Well, my dad.
Yeah. But what I'm saying is hardly anyone went to see it because it was a gigantic bomb.
I saw the Terminator 1 and 2 recently. They were fantastic.
Oh my God, they're so good. Like, they're great to just watch back to back as like companion films.
Yeah.
Like, if I watch Terminator, especially if it's late and I haven't got time to watch another movie, if I watch Terminator 1, the very next day I will always watch Terminator 2.
I watched I think that Terminator 2, there could have been about half an hour cut from it. Because it's very long, and I wasn't a fan of that part where they have to go stop Skynet from being invented.
I like that scene. But then again, when I first saw the film, there wasn't a Terminator 3, so I guess that scene felt important.
Well, it sort of just diverges, like where they're running away from the T-1000, who's trying to catch and kill John Connor, and now we have to go do this whole other thing. And it directly conflicts with the movie because if there's no Skynet, there's no Terminator. How did Arnold get there in the first place?
Yeah. Well, I don't think that there's any real logic behind the time travel in those movies because they're full of paradoxes. Like the fact that when you first see Miles Dyson at Cyberdyne Systems, that the technology that inspired him to create it is the recovered Terminator parts from the first film. It's and the fact that John Connor sends his own father back in time to become his father and stuff like that. Yeah, it's full of weird little paradoxes that I think they work in a way that's kind of fun, and certainly as far as the fatherhood thing goes, they work in a way that's quite sweet. I think the first film especially, I think, has a real bittersweet quality to it that I really like. You don't get that a lot in action films. But I love both those movies. I think we'll have to agree to disagree about the Cyberdyne stuff. Like, I can see why you would feel that way, because yes, it does sort of derail the main focus for a while. But I think it's fine. I think it gets a lot.
It's nothing serious like the whole. It's nothing serious like the casino scene from The Last Jedi, but
yeah. To be fair though, there was nothing to derail in The Last Jedi because the entire film is a steaming pile of shit.
I knew that film was going to be awful the second Luke threw his lightsaber over his shoulder.
Same. That's the moment where you know it's irredeemable. It's like, luckily, it's really close to the beginning of the film, so you're like, okay, there's no saving this.
Yeah.
So does that and then proceeds to fucking drink tit milk, and you're like, okay,
alien titty milk.
Yeah, you're like, okay, there's no point in watching the rest of this.
Yeah,
had I not been with my family, I would have walked out of that movie. At the moment where Princess Leia flies through space like Mary Poppins.
Superman flies through space.
And I'd have just been like, nah, I'm good. I'm leaving. I don't need to sit through 2 more hours of this. But
Yeah.
obviously I was with my family, so I couldn't do that.
Yeah. Can't wait till we get the James Gunn cut of Last Jedi. It's like 6 hours long. Fully fleshes out.
Yeah.
What's her name? The Asian lady no one likes.
Who cares?
Rose. Yeah.
Pimp Demon, thank you very much. No, let's make a worse punishment. Let's make Logan watch the Nostalgia Critic movies.
Oh! Fuck. Oh my god. Those are some of the worst things ever created by people.
They're shockingly awful.
Yeah. You know, there's nothing that pisses me off more is when a movie thinks it's self-aware and clever. Like, it's just that whole, oh my god, I know I'm in a movie, and I'm going to talk about how I'm in a movie. Isn't that funny?
It's like, no, it's not funny.
It's very much not funny. Like, Family Guy does that all the time. Where it's just like a minute of them talking to the audience.
Oh, so Family Guy, what's been interesting is I've been watching it on Disney Plus, and I've been able to track the... I've been able to track the downward spiral in it, and I've now hit the point where it's... I'm still quite early on. I'm on like season 4, and I've hit the point where it's starting to become really not funny. So I think it was quite good when it started. It certainly wasn't clever, but it was a proper comedy show where things happened that related to the plot, and the jokes largely derived from character moments. And it's got to the point now where I'm at with it, where it's almost exclusively cutaway jokes.
I'll just wait till you get to the episode where Stewie's pregnant with Brian's babies.
I'm probably not going to get that. I'm probably not going to get that far because I'm gonna watch to the point where I no longer laugh. That's what I did. That's what I did with The Simpsons. And I've told this story 100 times, but for anyone who doesn't know this story, I can pinpoint the exact moment I stopped watching The Simpsons. Was it
the one with Armin Tamzarian?
No. I stayed watching for a while after that one, because I think there were still some good ones around that era. Although that's not a very good episode. It's some people it's the worst episode, although I don't think it is. But
it's not the worst. I think the worst episode is that one where Bart steals the video game and Marge abandons him.
That's pretty fucking bad.
Hideously bad.
But there was one of the many Sideshow Bob episodes, which are all redundant after the episode with his brother, like Cecil.
Yeah.
That needed to be the last one. That absolutely needed to be the last one. But anyway, it was another one of those, and Sideshow Bob I think has like a kid or something. And it wasn't...
Oh, yeah, the one where they're in Spain.
Yeah, it wasn't funny at all. And I sat there bored to tears, and there was a moment. Sometimes like when art reflects life, and Bart said this line, kind of in a Family Guy way, in a very self-aware way. He said, come on, Sideshow Bob, you've tried to kill me so many times, it's not even funny anymore. And something about the way he said it clicked in my mind, and I changed the channel. It's absolutely true. 100% this took place. I know it sounds like one of those funny sort of Tumblr stories. This really happened. Something clicked in my mind, and I just changed the channel, and I never watched a new episode. I was like, that's it. That's The Simpsons.
But Jacob, how are you going to watch the episode where Bart becomes a Pro League of Legends player? That's actually a thing that happens.
I'd be fine without that. In fact, I missed 5 minutes ago before you told me that.
Oh, it's so bad.
Thank you very much, Phantom Gline, for the $10. Arnold, is your foster mother a Simpsons fan? Yeah, she loves the show. Dental plan, Jill. What? Hangs up. Your foster parents are dead. so good. Star Wars Legends is better than canon now. Yeah, Star Wars canon's garbage. Like,
let's be honest, the best.
Star Wars is the. I've said this before, but I'll say it again. Sonic, it's the Sonic the Hedgehog of movies. Like, it's been shit longer than it was good. Like,
I've been getting into Sonic the Hedgehog recently. It's just been like, oh, these games are terrible. Let's see how actually awful they were. I played Sonic Adventure 1 and 2, and it was like, well, that was bad, but kind of fun, I suppose.
I fucking hate Sonic Adventure 2. Sonic Adventure 1 I can sort of tolerate if it's the Dreamcast version. Like, the later versions are really broken.
I had the version on PS Now, which was on my PS4. It was okay. The controls are clunky as shit. Right.
At least my defense.
So, I had a question. What did you think about the Mortal Kombat trailer?
Okay, I had very mixed feelings. I know everyone loved it, but I didn't. There's a few things I didn't care for. I'm not sure about the tone just yet. But the thing about it really is visually I don't like it. So I don't mean that I don't like the special effects or the costume design. I think those are good. What I don't like is the actual cinematography and color palette at all. I think it looks like an Amazon Prime original.
Well, I mean, some Amazon Prime originals are pretty good.
Yeah,
like The Boys was fantastic.
Absolutely. I love Doom Patrol, which I think that's a Stars exclusive, isn't it? I think there's nothing inherently wrong with that if that's what you're making. But if you're making a major motion picture, I don't think I should be reminded of an Amazon Prime original. Because the last major motion picture, big studio production that looked like a made-for-home streaming movie in such a big way was Ghostbusters. So you can
the old or the new?
No. I think the old movie looks like what it is, a major motion picture. The new one looks like it was made for Netflix.
Okay, by that you mean the one that looks like Stranger Things or 2016?
No, 2016. The Stranger Things one isn't even out yet. But I mean, like I remember seeing the trailer for Ghostbusters 2016 and thinking to myself, "Wow, this looks like a Netflix movie." It looks cheap.
Oh, but Jacob, you can't hate that movie, or else you hate women.
And now a thing with the new I was gonna say RoboCop with the new
Not the new RoboCop movie going.
The new Mortal Kombat trailer is it has a cheapness to it. Now I love the original film. I'm aware that it doesn't capture the games in the sense that it's not violent enough, I suppose. But I really like that film, and even though it's got a lower budget than the new one, I think because of the fact it's got lovely production value, it's got really nice sets, really nice production design, and it's shot on film. It's just got this nice look to it where it feels like you're watching a major motion picture. It doesn't feel like the dirt cheap movie that it is.
Well, there are a few things I love about the trailer. One, that Johnny Cage is nowhere to be found, who's consistently been my least favorite character.
I love Johnny Cage.
I really don't like him.
I think in some of the games he comes across unlikable and too arrogant, but the sort of confident but with a good heart guy that he is in the first movie, to me that is Johnny Cage to a T. I love him. He's one of my favorite characters.
Most of my experience was with 9, 10, and the recent 11, the games, and he's insufferable.
See, I grew up playing Mortal Kombat Trilogy on PlayStation, which is of course there's no he hasn't even got a voice in that, so I kind of put the personality on myself as the viewer, as the player. No, I like Johnny Cage, so I was really sad to not see Johnny Cage in the new one, because he's my favorite character in the original.
Yeah. I also like how they have Melina with the teeth.
Yeah.
As in the original, in Mortal Kombat Annihilation, which
we don't talk about Mortal Kombat Annihilation.
But they had this whole fight scene with her and Katana, and she doesn't take her mask off at all.
Yeah.
That's the one thing that you're supposed to have about this character.
See, that's a good example, actually, Mortal Kombat Annihilation, of talking about budget, and cheapness. Because that has a higher budget than the original. Doesn't it look cheaper?
Yes, it looks so much worse.
Got a super chat here to read. Got two super chats. Carl the Conqueror, thank you very much. The new Dune is going to be the final nail in the Star Wars coffin. I'm cautiously optimistic. So Dune is an old sci-fi epic novel by a guy called Frank Herbert, who I'm not really familiar with as a writer. But there have been TV movies of it, and David Lynch tried to make a film based on it with a shit ton of studio interference, which made him not make a studio movie for the rest of his career. The David Lynch version is interesting, but I'm much more interested in the new one. I think it's got the potential to be really great.
The Frank Herbert novel is fantastic.
don't know if you guys can hear Gemma in the background. There, she's got sore throat.
Hi,
She
Gemma.
Says the novel is great. That's about all we got time for. Before we've got to move on to the next guy.
right.
And eventually I've got to go to bed as well. But thanks
for
thank you. Yeah, it's nice to have you. Any last thoughts before we move on?
Well, I love this show. Bad Creepypasta has always been one of my favorite shows. It's always hilarious. I'm really glad I get to do these like little calls and talk and chat with you guys.
Well, thank you for saying so. And so long as people like yourself are enjoying the show, we'll keep making it. We're hoping to get a new episode recorded this weekend. Fingers crossed. So,
As long as like one of the nostalgia critic doesn't like copy strike you for using his clips in your videos.
Well, we live in hope. All right, take care.
We live in a society.
All right, thank you very much, Phantom Glide, for the $5. Sub-Zero tears off Jax's arms. Jax, those were $500 arms, asshole. Yeah, I mean this guy he seems like a nice guy that we just chatted to, but he doesn't like Johnny Cage. So I mean, okay. I like this person's name. I'm going to call them next. I have no idea if they've been waiting a long time or just started waiting. But my god, this dude is named Count Abstinence. So, yes. That's how I roll. I don't... There's... The stream call has no set schedule. It'll be out when it's out. Is that joke still funny? I don't care. I'm still going to run it into the ground. Rocking my ceramic boots. Means I can not slide around as much. Okay. Got to get over there, haven't I? That's quite a fucking serious jump. I don't know why. I've got a magic spell that powers up my sword and just like, endows it with a whole bunch of extra attack power. But oh right, well the dude's on the call with me, but he's got his microphone muted for some reason.
Wow, I'm stupid. Sorry about that.
That's okay. Well, welcome anyway.
Hi.
Good to have you here.
Oh, yeah, thanks for having me. It's a little nerve-wracking, honestly. I've never actually been live in front of any sort of... I mean, obviously it's not my show, but it's still a little nerve-wracking, especially also... I've been a fan of the show for a while, so it's kind of crazy being on here,
That's cool. I mean, always happy to talk to fans.
Yeah, nice.
I'm wasting this power. There we are. So, yeah, what made you want to call in?
Just kind of, like I saw you were streaming. I just kind of wanted to come on, just say, like, just thanks for doing, like, the show that you do. It's always been something that's, I've watched it for quite a long time. I've always been a pretty big fan. It's always just, it's always been something I've watched that I've always really just been a huge fan of, really. That's kind of just always made me happy, I guess, for lack of a better term. So thank you.
Well, no, you're most welcome, and thank you for letting us know that, because that's the thing, we don't always know if people are enjoying the show or not. It's especially now that they say YouTube is thinking of getting rid of dislikes. So I ain't got a fucking clue if people are having a good time or not.
I don't know. The dislikes are showing up on my computer, but on my phone they were gone.
That's mad, right? That's nuts.
I don't know. I mean, knowing YouTube though, to be honest, I'm not surprised in the slightest.
Yeah. To be honest, I actually, and this is going to make me sound like a boomer, I actually preferred the star system they had before.
I feel like I was like there just towards like the very end of that. I'm not old enough to remember it, I don't think. Wait, when was that exactly?
That was like, well, YouTube started in what, 2006?
6, 7, 5, somewhere around there.
Yeah.
Okay, not 7. It was 5 or 6.
Right, I just gotta kill this enormous Native American snowman with rubber gloves on.
Yeah, I'm watching. It's amusing.
Alright, that's a waste of a spell.
What game is this?
This is Wonder Boy Monster World.
Nice.
Or Wonder Boy 5 or Monster World 3, depending on where you live. You'll know it by one of those titles.
Okay. Okay. Oh, there it is.
Alright, I've got a bit of gold. The old axe. I forgot that's what I was here for. So let's get the heck out of dodge. And let's save. I think that's the thing to do. Question mark. That's potion shop, isn't it? Yeah. I don't want that. I don't want a weapon shop either. I want an inn. It's literally got the word inn written on. That's where I'm gonna go. Do you think YouTube is still mad about the rewind dislikes?
Definitely.
Yeah, it's
Definitely.
possible. They did make the worst video of all time. I always think back to that, and just whenever I think about the bad corporate content, I always think back to Will Smith just being like, if I controlled Fortnite, Rewind is the line, excuse me, I fucked that up. If I controlled Rewind, I would have Fortnite and Mark-ass Brownlee. I'm like, I'm never going to get over that. That's going to stay with me to the fucking grave.
I think it was like last year before, like right before COVID hit, me and my friends, a while ago, we were just kind of just looking at dumb YouTube stuff. And then that one popped up, and so we're just like, screw it. And then immediately after, we just stopped everything. We couldn't watch anymore. It was bad.
It's a shocking video like this.
The fact that, how much did they have to pay Will Smith to get on there? Jeez.
Yeah, it was another thing about it was that it had like people who were not famous for being on YouTube, like people who were like regular famous. I'm like, what are they doing here? That was
really odd.
Yeah, it was off-putting, right?
Pretty much.
Because I did not, enjoy seeing. Oh yeah, I've already done that. I did not enjoy seeing like John. I mean, I don't enjoy seeing John Oliver anywhere except in a pit of snakes. But I didn't really enjoy seeing John Oliver doing Fortnite dances.
Yeah.
It's like, this needs K-pop. And I'm like, please cut my head off now.
I'm glad I suppressed that memory for a while. Jeez.
The thing is, I worry that members of my friends and family who aren't really into YouTube and don't really know what it is, but just know that I do it, will watch a video like that and go, "Cool living you got there."
Yeah, I mean, there was that one stream where didn't your mom just randomly text you saying, "Is this what you're doing with your college education?"
Right.
Or something like that?
What were we doing? We were like reading an Onision book, or we were like reacting to Nostalgia Critic. We were doing or like watching one of those shitty potion videos or something and making fun of it. And my mum was like, "Oh, glad I gave you that money to put you through college." Yeah, thanks, mum. Yeah, genuinely, it was the deeply embarrassing experience for me.
It surprise me if I was streaming. I don't know how I'd feel about my mom watching it, to be honest.
I might go back to that place we just came from. I'm going to go back to that place I just came from and see if I can afford a spear, because I won't need it for this dungeon, but eventually I'm going to need that spear. Dude, just a fucking wizard. Why is he selling weapons? I think he's dodgy. I think he's had his magic taken off him. That's 10,000 gold. Yeah, I think he's selling weapons because he's not allowed to do magic anymore. Knight shield. Yeah, I'll buy it. I'll buy it because I'm being a completionist at this point. I just want to buy everything I can afford. Yeah, it's slightly better defense as well. Apparently we were watching Lightning Lane. According to someone.
Okay, yeah.
And my mum was just
that sounds about right. I mean, I wonder if I wonder what Lightning Lane's mom thinks of him though. That's the real question.
Yeah. To be fair, I shouldn't feel so bad about myself. But yeah, I think like I definitely wasted my education. I remember like I worked really hard, to get like to pass my 11 plus as a little kid, and I went to a grammar school, and then after grammar school to college, and then to a pretty good university, not a top university by any means, but did 4 years at university, and then started postgrad, and then just quit postgrad and was like, this isn't for me, and started making fucking YouTube videos. So yeah, this is better. This is what I want to do.
this question might have been answered to death, but like, what made you want to start YouTube?
So it was just a hobby. It was just like, oh, I kind of liked the idea of like doing presenting, you know, and as a kid I was always interested in sort of like radio and stuff like that, and wanting to like do radio DJing and that sort of thing. Obviously you can't really do that anymore, so it just sort of came about as a kind of response as well, because a lot of this first stuff I did was back before everyone had a YouTube channel. I was big into Vidya, and not everybody, not a lot of the games I liked weren't getting reviews. You know, people weren't talking about them because they were kind of cult, like games like this or like some of the Master System games I played on stream. So I would review that kind of stuff, and I did a whole thing where I would do sort of top 10s, you know, pretty generic, cringy stuff.
I mean, who wasn't doing top 10s at that time, honestly?
Yeah, and again, my top 10s I felt were sufficiently different to other people's. So, but yeah, so Bad Creepypasta was never meant to be like, you know, something to do as a kind of job, but you know, life's funny like that. I'm going to go back to the pyramid. This is where I want to be. You may have noticed I'm tiny.
Yeah.
That's because I have all the I had all the pygmy stuff. I've got it all now. Right, is there anything down here before I go where I need to go?
I'm not super familiar with a lot of RPG games, if I'm honest, but the other day, my sister made me play Undertale. Like, I was kind of...
Rip.
Yeah, it was interesting. I mean, better than I thought, given the absolutely rabid, to put it lightly, fan base online.
I don't know, I just find that game, like, laughably pretentious. Like, I really hate it.
Yeah, I can definitely see that. I mean, like, I just played it the other day, and I kind of enjoyed it, but I can definitely see that.
Yeah, I mean, you know,
it wasn't like my favorite game of all time.
To each his own, you know. There's a fucking charm stone in the pyramid.
Really?
There's a free charm stone.
Oh.
Yeah, no, there's always been that there. I just forgot about it. Because we were like, Logan was like, "Where's the last charm stone?" I'm like, it's in the fucking pyramid. But anyway, my guy, we're about out of time, so any closing thoughts?
I mean, like I said before, just thanks again for the videos that you make and for just always just making great content. And just like, I can tell you, like you really put work into it, and it's like it's funny, but it's also inspiring, honestly.
Well, thank you.
So
That's
just
really nice of you to
thanks
say.
a lot for everything that you do, and for letting me on this call.
Awesome, dude. Well, you take care of yourself, and yeah, have a good one.
You as well. Bye.
Bye. All right. Who will be my next victim? Awkward silence. Hope everyone enjoys that. Just to me sitting here quiet, not knowing what to say while I wait for the next person. Accept that friend request there as well.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Wow. I just got back like 10 minutes ago, so I'm lucky I caught this.
All right. Were you also watching Godzilla vs. Kong?
Sadly, no. I plan to soon. I've heard things about it.
Are the cinemas back open where you are, or is it streaming still?
Movie theaters are mostly open.
That's crazy.
So,
fucking
yeah.
Nothing's open here.
Wow, yeah. well, I don't know. Maybe, hopefully soon, things will start to
Yeah.
turn to relative normal. Oh, I had a thing of what to say, an idea in my head, but forgot it again. One in, one in out the other.
Yeah,
Wait, that's
can
not the right phrase. No, never mind.
Can we get an F in the chat for this guy's memory, please?
Yeah, big F. Oh, okay, got it. I don't know if this was asked before. Do you have a favorite video game?
Oh, possibly. It depends on what mood I'm in, and depends what you know. It depends on what I want to get out of the experience. Majora's Mask is quite special to me. It holds a very special place, in my heart, as they say.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, I'm rather keen on
It's a
that
great
one.
game.
Oh, I'm going the wrong way. Oh, I've got a chum stone. I can go and give it to that guy who lives in the shrubbery. Alright, I love both the Nintendo 64 Zelda games. They were a big part of my childhood. I also really like this game.
Did you get to play the remix?
Yeah, I played the remake of Majora's Mask. I have some problems with it, but it was nice to play.
That one's pretty divisive.
It was nice to play the game with some shiny new graphics. But I felt personally they made a lot of unnecessary changes. Thank you, Carl the Conqueror, not only for putting an F in the chat, but for putting a nice blue F with your 199. So it's a beautiful blue F we've got there.
Those were pretty good picks there, Uncle Palpy in the chat. But I'd say mine have to be Bloodborne.
Yeah, I haven't really played Bloodborne. I've played about 10 minutes of it. It seems good, but you can't possibly judge a game on such a short playtime, you know.
Understandable. Yeah, that's fine. I mean, I think you should fix that mistake right now. But it's all good. This is really fun, for me at least. But this I'd probably ask this favorite movie.
Well, we talked about comfort movies earlier, which I suppose is different.
Yeah.
But
different.
I don't know if I have a favorite. It does seem to jump between a couple of films, between Jaws, 2001: A Space Odyssey, Blue Velvet, and maybe King Kong. It sort of jumps around these films. Depending
original,
on
1950?
Yeah, 1934.
30. Oh wow! Oh, well. Yeah, I'm as much an old movie buff. Sorry about that.
That's right. It's your business. But to me, the films that are particularly special in that genre, the sort of creature feature monster movies, are the golden age. So from the 30s through the 50s. So that entire era is really special for me in terms of monster movies. And then, of course, there's what I think of as the Renaissance. So there's the Golden Age, and then there's a kind of a Renaissance in the 80s of creature features as well, of great creature features. Look at me, I'm the same size as I'm back in the dwarf village. I actually fit in with the dwarves now.
Yeah, you're a very small lad in the game. I asked you your favorite movie. I don't even know what mine would be. It's like, because there's movies that I think are good, and then I enjoy a lot, but I know that they're not really well made. Favorites. All right. I can answer this. I'm a big nerd. My favorite superhero movie. Yeah, maybe probably Into the Spider-Verse.
I like that one.
Now I prepare for the roast comments to come in.
No, I like that film a lot.
I think how it adapts the character of Miles is better than in his main issues. I mean, at least, I'm a geek. If you didn't know.
King Kong is a simp. That's true. That's why he's not called King Kong. He's not called King Kong anymore. He's just called Kong.
He's tried to protect a female.
For that
how embarrassing.
Bruce the Shark, on the other hand, thought patrolling from his first scene. Right, where the fuck am I going? I'm going to go to the Dragon Village, that's where I'm going. We've certainly made some progress on this game tonight. Look how far we've come. We had 3 hearts when we started. We're doubling up on a bunch of them now.
Nice.
This is how much you can enjoy a game when you have no life.
Oh, yep, I know the feeling.
That castle looks unhappy. I disagree. I think the castle's got very positive energy.
Well, I mean, we don't know the castle's been this. We don't know what it's been going through.
I should probably save. There's the save.
Okay, I got one more question. What would you say is the episode of Bad Creepypasta was the most fun to, like, I guess, record?
That's a tough one. It's difficult to say which one was the most fun to record. It'll be probably one of the many in the early days where we were drinking. I remember until the end when Toby got annoyed, I had a lot of fun doing the original Jeff the Killer because we were quite plastered and just being silly, really, and just I think that was one of the first videos where we really got into doing voices and being over the top, and you know,
but the voice.
Yeah,
You know,
we just kind of really indulged in the whole stupidity of it.
Yeah, that was pretty cathartic to find, because I was a very stupid kid, but even I recognized on the first read how bad that story was. It was just to find the source that was like, this isn't good, rather than the millions of other things and then a ton of, oh, so scary, he's coming to get you. This and it made me laugh too. So win.
Now there is a secret heart in this dungeon, which is like notoriously well hidden. So basically, we're gonna have to sacrifice some hearts because it's in one of the lava pits. I only found it recently, and I've been playing this game for years. It's in one of these pits of lava. Okay, it's not that one.
Ooh, they make you take damage.
Yeah.
To find the heart.
Yeah. Well, it's so well hidden. Just, you know, I just didn't. That's the only place. It's the only way I found it is when I was. To be fair, there is another way to get all the hearts of the game. You don't have to get this one. If you get another charm stone by spending 500,000 gold, you can trade it for a heart. But you know, I'd rather not grind for 500,000 gold.
Yeah, jumping into lava is the better alternative there. What a situation. Their grinds usually never fun. That's why I'm not a fan of most RPGs. Except have you played Final Fantasy VII? That one's I think I like it a lot.
I haven't.
I know it's a little broken in a lot of places, but I
haven't played it. I haven't played a lot of Final Fantasy games. I grew up with Nintendo 64.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I didn't play a lot of PlayStation games. I did get a PS2, so because obviously those were backwards compatible, I did get to play some PS1 games. You know, by buying them from the shop cheap. So I discovered like the medieval games. I'm trying to think of what else, and like Silent Hill 1, a few other things. But I haven't played all that much PS1.
Yeah, I too remember when PlayStations were backwards compatible. But you know, who would want to play old games, right?
Because I know you want to play old games, but they want to resell them to you. It's just so fucking greedy.
Yeah, taking a page in Nintendo's book for that one. So that's what Sony's doing now, seems like.
And I mean, even Nintendo experimented with backwards compatibility. You know, like the Wii could play GameCube games.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like, yeah, that was cool. But yeah, Nintendo's been greedy as shit. Like considering the Switch library is full of re-released Wii U games that are selling for full price. At the same price they were on the Wii U in 2014.
In the case of the upcoming the truly best Zelda game, Skyward Sword, they're going to sell that for $10 more than it was at launch for button controls.
Yeah, a game that was designed for motion controls. Fucking awful. But yeah, I was really shocked. I was at a toy store and I saw Super Mario 3D World, which obviously came out like years back now. It came out in like, what, 2013, something like that?
Yep, it's about 8 years.
Yeah, and I saw it.
Right.
I saw it for like 60 bar on the Switch.
Yeah.
I was like, what the fuck? Like, why does this cost so much?
At least that one has it has that little side game with it, but I don't think it's enough for full price.
There we
go. For price of a full Switch game, it's just not.
Just
you need to justify that a lot more. And this is also the day that they're ending a lot of the Mario stuff too. They have their new limited release practices to pressure people to buy it.
Look at the Switch version of One of Game On. I do understand that they are bringing out a Switch version of Wind Waker. I was one of the people that, even though there were some changes, I was quite keen on the Wii U version of Wind Waker. So I certainly hope the Switch version is just that. When they closed Miiverse, it was a shame because obviously the Tingle bottles were one of the coolest things about the Wind Waker remake, and they became useless when they closed Miiverse. But even so, it was a fun game.
Yeah, the Wii U version of Wind Waker changed my opinion on the game because I didn't have much of attention span. I didn't like the sailing in the original, but the fast selling.
Yeah.
I was like,
I never used the quick sail because part of what appealed to me about the original was being out on the water. I think that's why for years I ended up working as a tour guide on a river for years because it was like I just love being on the water. I find it very relaxing just being on a boat and pushing it through the water. Whether that's in a video game or in real life, it's just something that brings me joy. That's why the only Assassin's Creed game I like is Black Flag. All right.
I mean that is the best one anyway.
That's about all we've got time for on this call. So yeah, any last words before I kill you? No, any last thoughts to share with everybody?
I hate you so. No, I'm kidding. It's been fun, and yeah, I hope there's no more BS that happens with the channel, and you're free to do what you want, and good luck with everything.
Thank you very much. I too hope that, and good luck to you too.
Thank you. So long.
Nice chap. Right, before I take the next call, how you doing, Gemma? I know your throat's hurting, but...
Not too bad. Kinda hungry, but
yeah.
not too bad. How about you?
There's food. There's food in.
Yeah?
Yeah. There's not lots, but there's food.
Yeah, I'll get up at some point. I just getting that kind of congested feeling again.
There's Lemsip as well.
Cool.
Alright, I'm going to take the next call now. Okay. This guy's, I can't remember what it's called. It's some Wojak picture. I can't remember what it's called.
Withered Wojak, yes.
Thank you. Alright. Welcome, anyway, to the stream.
Yeah, I'm glad to be here.
Welcome to my nightmare. So, that's a line there from Power Rangers the movie. The 1990s classic that I think everyone enjoyed.
Never seen it. I am too young.
It's rubbish.
Well, I'm glad. Sorry, just cracked my jaw there. Other side. Fuck. Ignore that. Sorry.
Okay, That's disturbing and gross.
Sorry. Yeah, I've been a fan since around 2014. After the Slenderman stabbings, it's a bit of a story, and I'm willing to tell it. You interested?
Abso-fucking-lutely.
Yeah, okay. So, the Slenderman stabbings happened in about when I was in 8th grade. And the teacher was like, does anybody know... He was telling the story about the Slenderman stabbings, and the teacher was like, does anybody know anything about creepypasta? And my dumb self, who was really into creepypasta at the time, raised my hand, and I was willing to like bring in the story, right? So he told me to bring the best creepypasta there is, and he said he would read it out to the class. Now at the time, my idea of the best creepypasta was Jeff the Killer. Again, I was a dumb kid. So I went online and I searched for literally every single creepypasta I could find on YouTube. I was listening for like 10 hours. And then I came across your channel, and I listened to your reading of creepypastas. And that basically made me realize that everything that there was shit. Aside from like 5 stories, they were mostly crap. So I went back to the teacher, and I didn't show him your channel, but I showed him Jeff the Killer, and he was just like, no, I'm not reading this. Yeah. He was so disappointed in me.
I mean, it barely qualifies as literature. Like,
yeah, it's god awful. And he told me if you can find any good story, bring it to me the next day. And I said I promised I would, and then I didn't, and I let him down. But fuck it, whatever. Yeah. So you guys maybe realize what good horror is. So wait 1 second.
Did everybody else just hear somebody screaming on this guy's...
Oh, sorry about... Yeah, I had to... Yeah, that was my bad. Yeah, I got people in my dungeon, you know how it is.
Yeah. No, I don't. Please explain in agonizing detail.
Well, you see, I'm a disciple of Onision.
Right.
So, yeah, you know how it goes. So, fuck, like, I've been watching you guys for, like, a third of my life. I'm 21. Been watching since I was 14, 13, something like that. You've definitely had a influence on my humor. Really absurd, really bizarre. Fucking hell. I feel like I'm talking to the void. Do you want to make any comments or?
No, it's all good. It's all good. I mean, I've been talking all night, so I'm always happy to listen. But it's strange how we do hear from people. Like it's strange how many people tell us the same thing of, I used to be big into creepypasta, then I found your show, and it's a strange sort of bittersweet feeling because there's a part of me that feels obviously pride that it's like, oh, we helped you see that this thing was stupid, but there's also an element of guilt where we think, oh, maybe we detracted from your enjoyment of something that you liked, and perhaps we shouldn't feel proud of that.
I mean, on one hand, like, I have a lot of tolerance for shitty stories, and I could find, like, mild enjoyment out of even the worst ones. Like, I have this headcanon where Jeff the Killer takes place in, like, a sex cult town, and, like, it makes sense if you read it the right way. And, like, the whole party, the cowboy party, was just, like, this whole sexual ritual where they were going to sacrifice one of the kids and summon a demon. So Jeff the Killer does the sacrifice, he becomes the... It's stupid, but it's funny if you read it in a dumb way.
Sure.
But with other stories like Clockwork, you can't find any fucking enjoyment. Like, you said this, like, you can write terrible, terrible things and still, like, say something meaningful. Like, I Have No Mouth and I Must Scream. It's one of my favorite games and stories. Yeah. But with Clockwork, there's just fucking nothing. And it's, like, worse because the first third of that story is an extremely detailed account of abuse, and like, you could go with that, you could run that if you do it respectfully and if you do it smart, you could make this a terrifying story. But like, as soon as all the abuse is out of the way, it's just like, oh yeah, she has a mental breakdown, and then she gets injected with mental drugs, becomes a superhero, and it's just like, what the fuck?
Yeah, it's bizarre, isn't it?
Yeah, it's offensive, frankly. Like, I don't know, like, gets beat by her father at 3 years old, gets by her brother at 9, undergoes early puberty, gets bullied and neglected by teachers and her parents, and then I'm struggling to find the words to express my hatred for this story.
Well, yeah, one of the things that Gemma and I actually talked about today was moving away from doing those sorts of stories. And we are, obviously season 6 has been interesting because there are massive gaps between episodes, which is a shame, but it also gives us time to make sure that we've got, in my opinion, really strong episodes. I think season 6 has been really strong so far, because we've worked really hard on each episode. And
yeah, I'd say that you've been doing good.
One of the things we want to avoid is stories that are just going to piss us off.
I mean, a bit of hearing you guys rage on these stories is funny and fun in its own way, but I see what you mean.
Yeah, I mean, a little rage I think is fine, but like the stuff like Clockwork and Dating Game, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I've definitely been getting a lot more enjoyment out of the Onision books than shit like Sonic.exe.
Okay, so
Onision books.
The music in this like scary castle here is my favorite tune in the whole game. It's just it's a proper bop.
Yeah, it's a nice tune. By the way, has anyone tried writing Stone's Absathoth yet?
I don't know. If they have, I certainly haven't heard about it.
Yeah, I don't know, but like I've been thinking about trying to write it. Like I'm a fucking idiot, so like there's no guarantee that I'd even do it. I'm lazy as hell too. But like I've been thinking about it. I feel like I could do it. I could write a better story than Onision, no doubt. This fucking nonce.
Well, yeah, I mean, of course you could, you know.
Yeah. The shitty thing about the story is like I see what he's trying to do. He's trying to tell a sincere story, and he's trying to be humble. That's why the jock Jason, he fucking does all the cool shit. Nobody sits off the sideline like a cuck. And he's trying to make himself look humble, but that in itself is a form of narcissism, where he's trying to make himself too good, too, like, perfect, by not doing anything. It's contradictory and weird.
Yeah.
So yeah, like, I feel like I can make Piss Boy, the guy who pissed in a jar, I can make that a more compelling character than, fucking...
Oh god, he was awful, wasn't he? He was just like the... You know how a lot of bad writers, they use people with disabilities as a sort of... they don't give them any character. So like...
Yeah.
So
like,
that's
Sia's music.
Yeah, I was about to, literally took the words right. I was about to say that spineless, hateful cunt Sia.
Yeah.
And music, or as I call it, autism blackface. You know, they literally, you know, present someone with a disability as like a perfectly childlike and innocent, and you know, with no capacity for bad. And I'm just like, go fuck yourself.
Yeah, it's deeply terrible.
Okay, best boots in the game now. Let's put those on. Boom.
Yeah. And you're going to tie that into Stone's Abigail?
Yeah, so I think that he does that with Davis.
100%. Davis is a gay autistic kid. Like, there's no other way you could read it.
And he's written as somebody who is, you know, too pure for this world. He was just too good for a world that didn't understand him, and then just trying to be a good person and help out, he gets hit by a car. It's so transparent. Like, his writing is fucking awful.
Yeah, it's so, and his prose too. Oh my fucking god. He tries to be like poetic, but at the same time, there's no substance.
Yeah, he can't write. I mean, that's just that's all there is to it. You know,
it's legitimately something I would have written in like. It's legitimately something I would have written like when I was 12, and this guy's 30.
It's shocking.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm distracted by the gameplay.
It's fun game. It's a game.
Yeah,
game I really enjoy.
Yeah, it looks good for a game in the 90s.
Yeah, I think, you know, the it's quite expansive. You know, there's a lot of cool stuff in the game. You know, like the fact that you can anywhere where there's water, you can once you've got the trident, you can swim under the water and explore. I really like that. I like the fact there's hidden shit everywhere, like secret doors and stuff.
Yeah.
You know, it's got that kind of Super Mario, Legend of Zelda kind of vibe to it. You know.
Definitely.
But obviously for Sega instead of Nintendo. But
yeah. Oh, speaking of Nintendo, fucking like they make fun games, but their marketing department is inept. It's run by like elderly Japanese people who have no concept of the internet.
Yeah,
that's why all their decision making is shitty.
Well, that's certainly true.
Yeah. It's like I can't. I'm not. I'm just disappointed. Yeah. Well, I think I'm just gonna hang up now. I've said everything I had to say.
I think that's about all we've got time for anyway. So that works out nicely.
Yep. See ya. I hope you have fun. Not see ya, but see you.
Yeah.
I hope you have fun. See ya can rot in hell.
Yeah.
I hope you have fun.
Yeah. All right. Take care.
See ya.
It was nice to meet you. Oh, where's my cursor gone? Yeah, nice chap. All right. Who's next? Not you. Your cynical reviews. Why have I got a thing from you? Right. Is that? I think. Is that it? Have I caught up to everyone now? I think I've caught up to everyone. Oh, hang on. No. I've got a missed one here. This is somebody I think that was on the on a previous stream with us. I recognize the username. Okay, it's just a heart in there. That's fine, but yeah, I need to return to my pygmy state. Oh, thank you, Cole the Conqueror. Did you see Onision's account of his time in the chair force balled my blood? No, I haven't seen too much about that. Aside from what's in This Is Why I Hate You, which again is largely dramatized. There might be nothing through that little tunnel, but there was a little tunnel that only a pygmy can crawl through, so I'm going to go there now and just double check that I've done everything. Well, I've been through the tunnel, but there was a door. I haven't been through the door, and the door may just lead me back up to where I already was, but you know, it's I don't want to leave any stone unturned, really. How do I queue up to call? Just add me on Discord and hit the call button. So I think the person I tried calling back is no longer online, so I think I've missed them, basically. So that's fine. I've got another incoming friend request there. But yeah, I think I'm all caught up now. Unless this person's going to call me, the one who just said hello. But other than that, I think we're done. But no, Carla, I'm not super sure about Onision's accounts of his time in the Air Force. I do remember in This Is Why I Hate You, we talked about an exercise that's not a punishment, but was written by him as though it was some kind of torture. Very strange. I can't tell if I'm getting called because it used to make a noise when people phoned, but I don't know, somewhere... Yeah, I'm getting a call. Somewhere in some update or other...
Hello.
Hello. Discord doesn't ring anymore. It doesn't make a ringing noise, so... Welcome.
Okay, I'm gonna mute you on the stream so I don't hear myself echo.
Yes, that's probably a good
idea. I've been watching you for as long as I can remember. I don't even remember which...
Was that meant to sound as threatening as it did?
No.
Okay, it's just like...
Okay.
I've been watching you for as long as I can remember.
God damn it. Anyway, yeah, I don't remember which particular episode made me subscribe. I think it was Jeff the Killer, but I'm not sure. But yeah, your show has given me a lot of entertainment over the years. I remember having sleepovers with my friends at like 13, and we'd all just like crowd around my computer and watch your show, and we'd just have a blast. And yeah, I just wanted to say thanks for all the good content, I guess.
Well, you're very welcome, and and I'm glad that we were, I guess, able to provide you that so much fun, as a kid.
Yeah.
Because I guess we don't see that side of it really. We don't get to see the reaction. We see the comment section and things, but we have no idea, how people are reacting to the videos. So it's great to hear that you were doing stuff like that. That's wonderful.
Yeah. I have a question. Out of all of the pastas you've read so far, which one is the worst?
Worst is a very very subjective term. Difficult to say.
In your opinion,
we abandoned one once because it was so horrible. So there is on
which one was that? Was that Tiki Toby?
Well, no. Although we did abandon that one because it was boring. But there's a DVD for the high tier patrons, and one of the special features on that is a lost episode of Bad Creepypasta, which is Sally Come Play With Me. From back in season 4.
Sally Come Play With Me.
Yeah. Which is... It's just a rape a minute. I mean, it's
Jesus.
You know, it's a proper child molestation-a-thon, you know? So
yeah.
We weren't too happy with that story existing, let alone us reading it. So we didn't know anything about it as we went in, and we kept making jokes about how this character was a nonce. Then he was and started noncing, and we got annoyed and stopped reading the story. But up until that point,
like the main character was a pedophile?
No,
oh,
he was,
sorry, I don't know if that's a demonetized word.
No, well, I mean,
sorry about that.
Who cares?
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, that reminds me of the last caller was talking about Clockwork. That was a really bad one. I remember at the end of that episode where you like challenged like anyone, like if you think you can even say anything to defend this story, then like write everything in the comments below. And I remember thinking something along the lines of, you know, this person's probably just like a teenager. They don't really get the gravity of it. But nowadays I've kind of changed my opinion on that, and it's really just really insensitive to anyone reading that. And I think it's the right call to make that an exclusive, so people kind of know what they're getting into, and you don't really want to kind of minimize the exposure on stuff like that.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, we never finished the story on Sally. You know, we stopped the story, and it's a full length episode because it's a long story, but we only get halfway through the story. But you know, I still think the episode turned out, you know, for what it is, rather funny. Thank you, Mike K27. He's still alive, absolute mad lad.
Yeah, how long have you been live? 3 hours?
Yeah, yeah, about that. I'm trying to get to everyone.
Damn.
You know, I don't really want anyone to be left out. So.
Yeah, makes sense.
So doing this platforming thing on an emulator is really difficult, because like the controls on the Mega Drive, obviously it's what it's designed for. It's you know, responsive and tight. Here I am on an N64 controller on an emulator. This pixel perfect platforming, rather challenging.
Yeah, makes sense. Yeah, I mostly just play older games like this nowadays, honestly, because gaming nowadays is just so expensive, and you never really know what you're gonna get. Because developers, like, they don't bother compressing anything anymore, so every game is like several hundred gigs, and they don't optimize anything. They've just gotten so lazy that I've really just not bought into a lot of new games, honestly.
Yeah, I haven't bought a new game for quite some time. Yeah, I don't know. I guess gaming isn't really the same hobby for me as it once was. I guess that's why when I do these streams,
Yeah, same here.
I'm pulling games out from my childhood. You know.
Yeah, makes sense. Oh yeah, by the way, congratulations on resolving that whole copyright thing.
Thank you. Really happy about the result. You know, some people want to drag out the drama, which is, you know, understandable. I get that people enjoy it, but it's resolved as far as I'm concerned. I got what I wanted.
So did you ever hear any... I think I probably know the answer to this, but do you ever hear anything from YouTube? Like any kind of explanation or anything?
No,
or is it just kind of like, hey, this video's back?
There was a generic message about, like, basically that they'd received my report and that they were happy with it, and that there was X amount of time now for Elijah to reply to prove, you know, basically the burden of proof is on him at that point. In my opinion, it should be on him regardless, because he's the one making an accusation.
Yeah.
But whatever. I probably should equip some better spells. I never really use shield, and I probably should, because it's quite a good spell. But yes, the burden of proof is on him. He had, I think, 14 business days, but he never did it. And then a very strange thing happened, where after he had an opportunity to provide proof of legal action, he didn't, but then DM'd me on Instagram saying a lawsuit was coming, so the whole thing was rather confusing, in my opinion.
I'd imagine he'd have, because he's an American YouTuber, right?
Yeah.
And you're in the UK, I'd imagine he'd have some difficulty getting that filed and getting a lawyer that'd be willing to put up with all that bullshit for something that is probably just going to be washed out of court.
Yeah, I mean, the law was on my side anyway, so I'm not too worried.
Yeah.
It was just very funny to me that it happened at all, but I thought, like, dude, just let it go. Like, you lost, and it's okay to lose sometimes. You know, the fact is you were in the wrong. Several people told you you were in the wrong, you didn't listen. You know, you could just be a man about it.
Probably salty that his channel is getting, like, a fraction of the views that it used to get.
Yeah, what's shocking is that, you know, even though obviously this stream, for example, it's very niche, so very small audience, but typically I think my channel is actually doing kind of better. I mean, in terms of metrics, it's doing much better. For number of subscribers.
Ironic.
Yeah, number of subscribers versus number of views on my channel, it's pretty good, I would say. It could be better, but I think it's quite solid. His number, it's a fraction. His subscribers, it's a fraction of people who actually watch his content.
Yeah, it's basically like Onision's channel, where you have millions of subscribers, but they're all in the coffin, so to speak.
You got like 1,000.
They're not interacting or anything.
You got like 10,000.
Because they've just been bogged down through the algorithm so much that either all those accounts are dead, but they're just not interacting enough for him to be popped up to the top anymore.
And obviously, you know, there is some sympathy there from me, but at the same time, one has to think. It's a bit sad, really. You know, you got oh, I didn't even have the best armor on while I was doing that fight. That was stupid. But yeah,
So I'm actually not familiar with this particular game. What system was this on?
So this is for Sega Mega Drive. Or Genesis, if you're stateside. 5,000. Fuck me.
Oh yeah, I had one more question I was going to ask. What made you want to start doing bad creepypasta?
So it kind of happened by accident. I don't know if you've seen. There's 2 documentaries on the channel. I don't know if you've watched them. Where we talk a little bit about the show and its history. If you haven't, you know, might not be your cup of tea, but I'm very happy with them. But we talk about that on there. But to briefly surmise, I was editing a film. I was up in London with a friend, editing with him, and I found Tails Doll sort of by accident while I was bored one night. I couldn't sleep, and I read it, and I just couldn't stop laughing. And my friend Ken, the next morning, I said to Ken, I was like, read this story and try not to laugh.
Now, Tails Doll was the one where it was like, I jumped off the balcony, and with luck, I landed on the ground.
Not even that one. The other one, the one that was just like, it was just really basic. Like the first episode we did, it was to this day my feet ache and are sore.
Yeah, I remember that line.
And I showed it to a couple of people, and nobody could get through it without corpsing. So I thought, yeah, this will be a fun video. It's a sort of like a try not to laugh challenge kind of thing. Because if you go back and watch the first episode of Bad Creepypasta, it's fucking shit because there aren't really any jokes. We just read the story and try not to laugh. And then we did another one because basically Matt, who's my, you know, I'm one of those awkward people who has like 2 best friends basically. So Matt, who's one of them, did that with me, and Toby, who's the other one, watched the video. I thought, that's really funny, can I do one? And so I did 2 with him, which was Teke and some other one, I can't remember. And yeah, we just had a lot of fun, like mercilessly ridiculing them. And that's just how it came about. And I think after we did the third episode, Teke Teke, there was this feeling, because it was so short and snappy, and it did quite well in terms of views at the time. There was this feeling of, hey, maybe this could be a thing, you know, maybe this could be something we put a little time into, and it seems like people like it, so perhaps this is worth our time, and you know, it just sort of spiraled from there, you know.
Yeah,
and,
makes sense.
Yeah, still a tremendous amount of regret on my part for ever doing it.
How come?
You know, I'm just half kidding, but there's a lot of their stories are they're pretty fucking bad.
Yeah. No kidding. All right, I think that's all the questions that
awesome. Yeah. And again,
thanks
it's timing wise, it works
thanks
out
for having me on.
pretty well. It's about our time finished anyway. So
thanks for having me on. I'm gonna type a message in the channel. I'm gonna say bye so people know my channel. Thanks for all good content. See you later.
No worries, man. Take care. I'm gonna pause because I'm getting shot an awful lot by those little alien dudes. Oh shit! Sorry, didn't mean to do that. I gotta do that first. Right. Fucking hell. Right, we're almost done. Patrick apparently is next. We're very close to being done now, guys. Hello, is this the Krusty Krab?
No, it's not. It was Patrick.
Okay.
I just muted you on the stream because I don't want to hear myself talk.
That's fine.
But new day so far.
What? You're very quiet. Sorry.
I think I might have to turn up my microphone sensitivity.
That's fine. Take your time.
Is that better?
Yeah, I mean it's you're still quite quiet, but I mean so long as you speak clearly, we should be fine.
Yeah. All right. So yeah, I've been watching the channel for a while actually. The person that actually introduced me to the channel was what's his name? Hoodoo Hoodlum's Revenge.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he's very. He was one of the first creepypasta channels that I've ever actually ran into, and I found your channel on his. I think it was his overrated creepypasta videos where he went over Clockwork, and I enjoyed that video very much. But when he talked about reading the story with you guys, I thought I'd go over and check it out, and I found you guys with a wonderful channel.
Well, thank you. Yeah, I we've done a couple of videos with Dennis. We did Rayman. We did. I think he was on maybe Clockwork with us.
Yeah, I do remember Clockwork. I think it was like just the first two. I think.
We also did one with him, but we lost his audio for it, which was the Ed and Eddie lost episode.
Oh yeah, that one was fun.
So we did that one together, but unfortunately, as I say, we lost the audio for that. It's a shame, but can't be helped. But yeah, he's a nice chap. I mean, we don't talk as much as we used to, because like me, really, he's a busy guy. But we've always gotten along very well.
Yeah. So yeah, I've seen a lot of I've been watching the stream since the beginning, and I've seen a lot of people asking questions. I've always only seen people ask questions like, "What's the worst story you've ever read?" But I've always kind of been interested. What's the best one, in your opinion, that you've ever read?
You mean for the show, or just one I've read
just
for
in
pleasure?
general, honestly. Because I know that there's a lot of really good ones out there.
It's tough to say. Depends what you want out of a creepypasta, and it's all very subjective, of course. There were the two that always stick out in my mind, though, are Candle Cove. And by the way, fuck the TV adaptation of it. Just awful.
I haven't gotten a chance to watch that one.
Just dreadful. But Candle Cove I really like for the simplicity and execution. But for a sense of dread that I got from reading a story, I'd probably say the disappearance of Ashley, Kansas. Just unsettled me in a way that I'm not ashamed to admit it.
Yeah.
You know, I've really just got under my skin.
Okay, I remember that one. That one's actually really good.
If I got Elixir, yeah.
If I had to pick a story that I read, this wasn't necessarily like a creepypasta because it originated on Reddit, but it would have to be Pen Pal.
Yeah.
Pen Pal was to me it was a grand story. It was very fun to read, and the ending actually got me quite a bit because I forgot who I injured. You're getting kind of clapped right now by that big old robot guy.
Yeah, you can't attack him until his gun's gone.
Oh, so it's supposed to drain your health like
Yeah,
that?
yeah.
Jeez. So this is a game called what? Monster Boy?
Yeah, this is Wonder Boy in Monster World or Monster World 3, depending on where you are. It's known by both those names. I'm also gonna power up my sword as well.
Yeah, I grew up with older games, even though I was like only 19 years old. My first gaming system ever actually was the NES. The only games me and my sister ever played were the original Super Mario Bros. And Duck Hunt.
Oh, did you have that cartridge with both those games on?
Yep.
Yeah, it's a classic.
Little gun. Yeah,
Who didn't have that cartridge?
We were actually total dog water at Mario, though we could never get past World 4. But one day when I went online, I found an emulator that you could just like play old NES games. I beat Mario World like the first time I tried it. So it's just it makes you appreciate how games were back then. No, I'm really enjoying the stream. This game actually looks very interesting.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite games. It's a lot of it's nostalgia, obviously, because it was a childhood game for me. But so that's Wonder Boy Monster World.
Those if I had to pick my favorite, my favorite content out of you guys, it was definitely the what do you want to call them? The readings of Onision's books.
Yeah, I'm very happy with how those turned out.
Yeah, those are very funny to watch. I mean, it's just really funny to watch such quick-witted people just come up with jokes on the fly. Because like with a lot of YouTubers that make these kind of videos where they make fun of other people, they write these scripts and they have these jokes all planned out. But then when you watch it just raw on a live stream, it just hits so much harder.
I think one of the challenges of doing live broadcasting, a lot of people say that it's laziness that a lot of YouTubers prefer live broadcasting, but it's not that I prefer it. I just think there's an interesting challenge where you can't edit. So if you say something that makes you look stupid, it's out there, you know? This is a bit of a jam, this little bit of music here.
Yeah, no, but you guys do a very good job at it. I really enjoy your content.
Well, it's really nice of you to say. Yeah, I like doing live streams. You know, I mean, let's call a spade a spade. It is more profitable than making videos. Yeah. You know, it's just how it is. The way YouTube works these days. You know, I made a lot more money on AdSense when I had 2,000 subscribers than I do now. That's fucked up, but that's just how it works. Yeah. So, yeah, YouTube screwed over a lot of people, including, you know, small channels. But what can you do? You just got to move with the times. I'm grateful that people watch the live streams and they don't just get mad and think. You do get the odd mean comment from people saying like, "Oh, this channel's changed. Oh, yeah. You know, I wish it was like it used to be." I'm like, "Yeah, I wish it was like that too." But you know, life isn't like that now. Things change.
I mean, to be honest, I like the way your channel has changed over the years because I've probably watched like multiple of your guys' bad creepypasta videos over and over, and just watching each episode in like a timeline, it just makes me appreciate how far that your channel has come, especially with these live streams. If there's one video or one series of videos that I've watched more than any others, is actually the Sonic EXE remake. I just cannot not get a good chuckle out of that one.
Yeah, I barely remember that one, to be honest. Was I drinking?
That was the original one when you guys did the drinking game. I was too young to drink at the time that I watched those videos, and I still am. But I mean, it gave me a good workout, so I enjoyed that.
I just realized that I just did a no death run of this game just casually while talking.
Oh really?
Shows, yeah, I didn't die once.
Oh damn.
And I don't think I used my elixir either. There's an elixir you get right at the beginning of the game, from the first NPC you talk to, and I don't think I used it once, because you use it when your health gets low enough.
Oh damn.
It automatically uses it for you. I don't think I used it at any point, so I have to go back and check. But by watching the video, but I don't think I'm too lazy to do that, to be honest. But yeah, I think I just did a no death run on that, so pretty happy with that.
That's nice.
With streams, it's great. He can't filter out the absolute torrent of unfettered racism and baseness. It's like, enough about your racist past. Let's talk about your racist future.
Oh, well, it was nice talking to you.
It was nice to have you here. Always, I know it sounds kind of cliche, but it's always nice to meet a fan, you know. So
yeah, it's always nice to meet a favorite content creator.
Well, take care of yourself, buddy, and yeah. See you next time eating the pudding.
Alright, see ya.
Alright. Is there anyone else, or was he the last guy? Congratulations on not dying, says Cole the Conqueror. Thank you very much for the $4.99. Right, I'm getting DMs coming in, but no one's calling, so I think I'm going to call that a night, because it's very late, and I'd like to get a little bit of sleep before work tomorrow. But I'd certainly like to thank you all for coming and for calling. For coming to my Z talk, because it's called Z, not Z. People who say Z are the fucking enemy. So I'm going to say goodnight, but it's been a pleasure. Not very, very small, intimate stream, but you know, quality, not quantity. I suppose it's lovely to meet you all, and we'll do another one of these in a few months. We haven't got the set amount of time for when they happen, but they seem to happen every few months or so. So we'll do another one of these before the year's out. The next stream will probably be more Onision reading, realistically. And we're hoping to get some Bad Creepypasta videos out soon as well. So, alright, with that in mind, I've got another call coming in, but I have already said goodnight now. So, I'm going to bed.